Hello. Everybody, happy Friday. Welcome to the weekend, man. Right. Right. It's Friday. It's finally Friday. That was the week. I think we can all agree that was some sort of a mad week. And now it's finally at its end. As we begin, there's something new. Right? What an introduction to what we're getting up to tonight. Right? Here we find ourselves in the exotic lands of Greece. Yes. And we're here in the brand new FSReborn FSR500. Remarkable aeroplane. This one, right? It has all the characteristics of, yeah, baby, mixed in with a little bit of, oh, behave, right? It has everything. It has the realism. It has the, the immersion. It even has croissants, right? Loads of stuff going on here. So, you're very welcome along. For those of you tuning in on YouTube, hello. It is I, Murph, in stunning 4K resolution. And for those of you on Twitch, it is I, Murph. Look at the head in it, right? Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. So, Jesus. Did you ever just need a weekend? Yeah, right? Just a tough week, perhaps. Maybe it was busy, right? Maybe you were on the DOS, and tonight is kind of like, this officially starts your weekend. I mean, that's what it's all about, do you know? So we have a bit of a planage of what we're up to. Wait till you hear the pronunciations on this one, lads, right? I mean, this is deadly, right? So, tonight, we take our inaugural spin in the FSReborn FSR500. That's right, friends. We depart Andravida Airport, right? Lima Golf Alpha Delta, and we commence some island hopping. Our first stop is down at Zakynthos as we land at Lima Golf Zulu Alpha. Next, we head north up to a place called Kefalonia. I hear it's quite nice this time of year as we stop at Lima Golf Kilo Foxtrot. From here, it's back to the mainland as we do a quick stop at a place called Actian, right? Lima Golf Papa Zulu. And then friends, flying over some stunning landscapes, we head over to a place called Ionia. If I say it fast enough, you might say, Jesus, more. Ionia. At King Pyros International Airport, Lima Golf India Oscar. And then finally we head west out to the island of Corfu as we make a landing at the stunning add-on scenery by Flight Tampa down at Lima Golf Kilo Romeo. Right? I'll show you what it looks like on my Navigraph. Look. Now, starting off down here at this little bit, we ramble out to that little bit. Then, before we know it, we're up here to this bit. Before heading across over to that small bitine in here. That's right. Then we depart that little spot over the mountainous Regionus Maximus. There's a big lake down there. And we land over here before going this way to land on that thing. That's brilliant. Right. I should have been ATC or something. Yeah, just turn into the direction of your man. And if you follow him, just watch the road beside the trees and there's a high ace van. You can't get lost. How could you possibly get lost? Right. Brilliant. So, yeah, I know, right? Trying to pronounce the Greek word. The Greeks, a great bunch of lads, right? Feta cheese. Do you ever have feta cheese? Now, by the way, I see some interesting developments right now because, ladies and gentlemen, the FSR500 just now got a update into the marketplace. Raoul must have literally ran to friggin' France, then over to Seattle, then back to his place with the patch. So, if you're already loaded in with the FSR500, this patch fixes a couple of things. So if you want to grab it, we'll be on the ground here for a couple of minutes. Sure, I'll wait for you, lads. I'll hang around until you're in, look, right? Now, do I have all me chat? Jesus, I hope so. Do I have all me chat? This would be typical Murphy now if I broke it. I think I do. Look, that's brilliant. So, into the chat we should go and say hello to everyone while we're all here, you see, right? And, well, who's here? David Bay. Oh, we have some soundage. Hello, David Bay. Happy Friday to you, man. Robert JF50. No, just J56. Good to see you, man. You're very welcome in. Super Typhon is in the house. Welcome aboard. Tarnish Mossman. Hello. Happy Friday. You're looking well. Great to see you. Sean Dale is here. Kozaki Flyer is in the house. Husker Do. Happy Friday. Country Flyer rambles in. He says happy Friday. And hopefully the start to a wonderful weekend. Indeed, indeed. But yes. There's buttons being pressed here, lads. Let me see. Eagle Castella is here. You're very welcome aboard. Big Papa Bali has rambled in. Black Ice Gabe. We have a Black Ice Gabe that has rambled into the building. Happy Friday to you, Gabe. Vacuum is here. Hello, hello. Let me see. Toto. Cranking up the Toto has rambled in. He says, let the weekend begin. Right? It was all about. Sergey is here over on YouTube. Hello, my dude. You're very welcome aboard. As we have a Reckless Ray rambling into the chat. Phoenix Black is here. Welcome in, Phoenix. Filthy. Feeling those Friday vibes, he says. Indeed, indeed. Chiba Hawk is here. He says, Friday flying circus. No, yes, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, let's. To the place where I belong. Where was that? West Virginia. Mountain. We can make a song out of that. Do you know? Wombat is here. It's good to see you. He says, g'day, mate. I'm early for once. Hello, Fireflies. You're very welcome in, man. Happy Friday to you. Gibbo Ireland is here as he takes on the role of a Muse fan. Wait to hear this one. In the best Gibbo accent I could possibly do, he says, "Ha, sure, how are yous? Happy Friday all." As Muse would say, let's get it on. Now, is it, let's get it on. I want a good, clean flight. No eye gouging. Or is it a case of, let's get it up. We'll let you decide. Good to see you, Kivo. You're welcome in. Now, let me see. Night Sepp is here. Canoe Head rumbles in saying, happy day 314 of 2023. You're looking well. And you. Razor Cab is here. Goodness sake, it's good to see you. Jan Race is here. Happy Friday. Iron Knob Airways. He says, good day from down under. Good day from up over the under. You're very welcome in. Now, let me see. Strap21, hello. Balut is here. David Bay in the house. It's like the band are back together. Control Major Tom. Jesus, there's buttons going on here like you wouldn't believe. Control Major Tom is here. It's good to see you. The Limbics. Hello, the Limbics. He says, good morning, day, evening, and night. I hope all is well. 'Tis that of the weekend, man. Right, it just is. Mr. 90, hello to you. Soaring AJ.
So I get off the plane and I forgot to undo my seatbelt and I'm pulling the plane through the terminal.
Welcome aboard. There's all sorts of hootenanny nanny going on over here in the corner. Look, they've started a hype plane. Doesn't really sound like a plane, mind you. I need to fix that. What do we want? Plane sounds. When do we want them? Meow. Ah, come on! I got that from Alison. I thought that was brilliant. I was over here, look. Lee Dixon, good to see you. Renoir is here. You're very welcome aboard. Husker Do says the new update for the FSR500 dropped.
Oh, behave.
Not too long ago. Oh, behave. Make sure you update before the flight. Indeed. Daedalus, yes, you're very welcome in. Eamon, 1973. Download updates on the marketplace. It's another race against time to be set up in time. Yes. Jesus, oh, look, the stuff and the press and the buttons. Cut it out, really. We've a whole night to get, up and running here. Jess, I better call these out before I forget, or make a mess of it. Hang on, lads. Jesus, it's all buttons being pressed here. Who's in charge of this setup? Why do I have multiple screens? Why do I make life so awkward? Jeez, Fierce Wolf, 27 months, you absolute madman. Thank you very much indeed. 27 months.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Hang on, will you? Just calm the shagging thing down, will you? Where's the other one gone? Jamaumu is here for 36 months. Beat the hokey. Jamaumu, thank you very much indeed. Then Gibbo Ireland. Causing friggin' havoc, so he is. Gifting tier 1 subs left, right, centre, upside down, even inside out. He gave one to Sterling. Nice. He gave one to Mr. 90. Nice. He gave one to Strap21, look. With the Jesus, Gibbo. He didn't stop there. He gave one to Eagle Castella and Big Baba Bali. Gibbo Ireland, thank you very much indeed. 5 gifted tier 1 subs. The man's a legend. Thank you very much indeed. Zybok Doc has also subscribed 16 months. What's going on? Jens has given us 100 bits, like confetti. Thank you very much. Then Husker Do gifted a tier 1 sub to Brandon Lowe. Fierce Wolf. Will you stop pressing buttons, will you? To get you right, we'll be here till tomorrow. Fierce Wolf cheered 100 bits. Thank you very much indeed. Be the Lord. Gibbo gifted a tier 1 sub to Control Major Tom. Then he gave another one to Captain Meowingtons. Brilliant name. Gibbo, thank you very much indeed. Sean Dale gifted a tier 1 sub and he gave it to Vinky 666. Then David Bay jumped in for 11 months. Friends, thank you all so very much for your insane kindness and unwavering support. You're absolutely bananas. But I thank you very, very much indeed. That's very kind of them, isn't it? Brilliant. Right, now, screen over here. Dougal McTavish is here.
10-4, good buddy.
What was that? Buttons just... What was that? Gibbo just gave one to Ascardi Wolf because he was giving Outlook. Thank you very much indeed. Jesus. Usually I play music and we get all in the groove, but I have to play this. Oh, wait, hang on a second now. Murphy, could you not use science? Yes, I can. We can use science, friends. Ooh. Welcome to Friday. It's time for flying. Just picture it now. 1975 talk show, game show host. On tonight's show, you can win yourself a Hot Point washing machine. A Hot Point washing machine? No way, man. You can also win a weekend away, all expenses paid, to Trabolgan. Trabolgan. Third prize, a Skoda car. And what Skoda? Now, to be fair, right, Skoda back in the 1970s was crap, right? There's no point even getting excited about it. They weren't very good at all. But it's a bit like, kind of, the Romans back in the day. The Romans, right? You think of the Romans back in around 1200 BC. They weren't even called the Romans. In fact, they weren't even there. But if you lived in that neck of the woods, you'd knew you're onto greatness. Anyway, moving on. I was over here, look, before everything kind of went mad. Curly Toes is here over on YouTube. You're very welcome in. Dougal McTavish, welcome aboard to you. Hope all is well. Captain Meowingtons is here. Welcome in. Convel 999 is in the house, man. Ooh. Zane Fury is here. He said, I had the worst week of my life. But now he's all right. Well, we hope he's all right. Black Eyes Cave has a Skoda. That's why you're in charge. Do you know what I mean? Now, where was I? I was over here, look. We're catching up. Country Flyer, yes, welcome in. Jesus. Squawk Tor, good to see you. Hemmingbird is here. Evening all. You're very welcome in. Muse Fan is here. Come on, Muse. Hang on. I turned this one down, but I turned this one up. Jesus. I'm like a DJ. I'm like a DEJ. Disc eating jockey. Now, right, over here. Jesus, it's very busy, isn't it?
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Captain Sickbag is here. Welcome in, Captain Sickbag. Zybok Doc calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. I hope you're keeping very well indeed. Who else is here? Just very busy. Scorpio 49. I do believe it's your birthday. Today is Scorpio 49. Very happy birthday to you, my man. I hope all is well and you're being spoiled rotten. Baranko is here. Welcome in, Baranko. He says, hello, Chief Family. Oh no, Chief Firefly and all the other Fireflies. Why is there buttons going mad on my screen, look? Who's in charge of this madness? Where's this other oh, wait now. I found... lads, I'm about to find the buttons here. Look at this. Hang on now. Shh. Don't get too excited. What does this one do? That's like the intro to Living in America, but it's not. Living in Jamaica. No, it's not. It's not that either. Play it in the background. Bit of meaning. Dragon is here. Good to see you. AZ Blue Line is here. Exotobe over on YouTube. Salutations to you. Who's this? Jesus. Kosti. It's good to see you, Kosti. Hello from Ukraine. Hello from Ireland. Hope all is doing well with you this evening. And, well, you're very welcome aboard. Patrick! Jesus! Patrick is here, lads! It's alright! Everything's grand. Where did Captain Tossalot go? We don't know. We hope he's enjoying himself. Johnny Mon, 211. Johnny Mon. That's a great name, Johnny Mon. You're very welcome in. How are you? Now, Ailerons into Wind, also known as The Hymn, has rambled in to the chat to say the words we've all been waiting for. As Jules gifting a tier 1 sub to Hey Fred, and to Santico. No, Sanctio, even. Thank you very much indeed, Jules. You absolute legend, you. Get it together, Murph. We haven't got all day. Jesus. Right, okay. Hey, John Fez is here. What's happening? Hope you're going well. Hope you're doing well. That made more sense. Right, now we're catching up here, lads. Hey, Winkle Castler, good to see you. Gary Duggan, he says hello from Gosford, Australia. That's very loud in me head. Hello from that place up in the North Hemisphere near the other bit. We call it Ireland. You're very welcome in. Now, what do you call that space over a living room? A loft. This should be a good flight tonight, says Scorpio. Jesus, you're putting great, right? I like optimism. I've holidayed in each of these 3 islands years ago. Oh, be the hokey, did you? Scorpio, you'll have to tell us all about it now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, just take a left there, you know. Take a right and then another left. Do you know? Jesus, the music kind of calmed itself down there, didn't it? I mean, it was all grand. Where was the other button I was looking for? Oh yeah, look, it's in here. What's this one do? Hang on. No, we'll go with this one. Just think of like some sort of a soundtrack you can put this to. I think I need some Johnny Logan now. Right, where was I? I was over here before everyone started giving out to me. Augie, good to see you. He says, Murph, good evening. Hope you're well. Is this aircraft coming to Xbox? It was on the Xbox marketplace last week, but got taken off, as well as the Just Flight Fokker. It is coming to the marketplace. Expect to see it there soon. A matter of weeks. Well, it could be done sooner now because it's been patched. Raoul had the idea of releasing it to the PC because if there are any issues with it, you can patch it and, you know, stop pressing buttons and then, you know, it'll be good to go. Now, let me see. FROP. Hi from Sligo. Hello from Tipperary. What's it like in Sligo? Or as we like to call it, Sligo. You're very welcome in. Good to see you. David Herbert is here. Welcome in. A lot of people on YouTube tonight, lads. Thank you very much indeed. You're welcome in. Do you like the state of me in 4K? Right? Jeez. Right, brilliant. Now, where are we at? Night Zep. I predict I might as well lay down on the sofa before we take... We're going now in a minute. Right, now. Johnny Moon is from Chicago. Or Johnny Mon. Welcome in, welcome in. I think I've caught up. Mike Coffee is here. I feel some Slovakia. Don't know why. Don't know. But yes, tomato, says John Fezza. Or is it tomato? Corfu is the best island. Lovely restaurants. Great history there. Great history. Murphy behind the yoke. Greek tragedy in the making. Right. Now, where was I? Daedalus says, download for FSR is having problems. It goes up and then it goes down. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Have you noticed that, right? You go to download something in the marketplace and it takes hours or it could take moments. I've never got my head around it at all. Anyway, friends, we'll get ourselves kind of situated to do the thing with the yoke. So this is the FSR 500. We've seen it before. We got to preview this thing not so long ago when we had Raoul in, right? That was nice music, actually. Keep it in the background. It's based on a Piper, right? As you may have known, the PA-46, and they were known as the Meridian. A Malibu Matrix, now known as the M-Class. They're a family of American light aircraft manufactured by Piper Aircraft out of the Vero Beach facility in Florida. The aircraft is powered by a single engine and has capacity for 1 pilot and 5 passengers. Early Malibus were all piston-engined, but a turboprop version was introduced as the Malibu Meridian, now called simply the M500. Currently, the Piper offers the M350, 500 and 600 in the PA-46 family. So, work began on this aircraft way back when in 1970, with a prototype first having flown in 1979. The aircraft are still produced to this day, and if you go to the Piper website, well, you get an idea of what the brochure and customizable features are in the real world counterpart. Now, there's a reason here, lads, I want to look at the real world friggin' counterpart, because this aircraft, it's exacting in detail. Like, it's exacting in detail. It's quite remarkable what Raoul has managed to do here, because you have everything from the systems simulation. All the depth is there. This thing behaves exactly as the real aircraft does in terms of the avionics, in terms of the engine management, in terms of the flight modeling. It's been tweaked. So in the early days of development, Raoul had based all the numbers on the official numbers released by Piper. This is how the aircraft shall work. That is how fast it should move, right? And that's what he did. And he based all his figures on that. And then he said, now hear this, I have an aircraft to test. If anyone flies a PA-46 in the real world, do shout out. And he managed to get a number of real world pilots who fly the M500 on a daily or weekly basis. And the whole thing changed because they were able to, you know, offload all their experiences of flying the aircraft. And then Raoul was able to go back and, you know, tickety-boo them into the simulation. And what's really remarkable about all of this, well, it's built from the ground up within Microsoft's, SDK. Crazy stuff, right? Madness. So this is the real world stuff. This is what Piper advertised this thing as. And there's a couple of interesting things I wanted to show. Because when we go looking at, this is most comparable to something like a PC-12 or a TBM, perhaps. It's within that kind of the Piper Seneca. They're all within that kind of range of aircraft. Even though she's single prop, it'll be close-ish to a Seneca, right? In terms of what she can carry. But anyway, the cost per hour. This thing is extremely efficient. It has a range of about 1,000 nautical miles. A ceiling, put it in inverted. What are they called? Captions. What's the word I'm looking for? Put them into hieroglyphics. It has an approved ceiling of 30,000 feet. You could break that. And it also has a cruise speed of about 260 knots. That packs quite a punch. It's the mileage that's important here. But anyway, its running cost per hour is considerably less than a TBM. So the TBM 850 costs somewhere in the region of about $720 to $750 per flight hour, whereby something like this aircraft is down at around 560, 570, give or take. That's an important thing if you're a owner-operator, or even part of an FBO, that you're flying these aircraft. That's hugely important. They got the same legs, they got near enough the same ceiling. Granted, there's a bit in the difference of speed, but the cost is where it comes down to. And there's some features on this aircraft, not only from the interior, but when it comes to the safety features, and the safety features have been built into this version that we have here now on the sim. It is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant, right? So, who turned off my lights? I'm on live weather, but I'm going to bring up the time of day so we can actually see what's going on here, right? So, it's not a review. I've already shown this thing off. Like, this is one of the most complete aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator, full stop. Doesn't matter if it's an airliner, a helicopter, or general aviation. It is one of the most complete. What I mean by that is it ticks all the boxes. It has the sounds, the modeling, the texture work, the flight modeling, now it has the performance in terms of FPS and otherwise, and it's going to be compatible across both platforms, Xbox and PC. It ticks a lot of boxes, right? So what we're going to do, lads, we're going to hop on into our little machine, because you can see that we have the ground power unit. We haven't got it connected yet, but we're going to jump in and start having a look at our equipment. Because now I'm not going to use this feature yet because, well, I'm anxious of time. However, the first thing when you're hopping into the cockpit, well, you're greeted by a whole load of cool stuff. There's a whole load of glass in here, right? Now don't let that kind of freak you out because there's a load of glass, And Cy Murray says it's not an Xbox yet. It will be soon, Cy Murray. I would say it's a matter of weeks. Unless Raoul is here. Jesus, Raoul is here, lads. Symbol FSReborn has subscribed for 10 months, look. Raoul, you legend. Welcome aboard. Love your work, man. He says, Murph, They just released the FSR500 version 1.09 via Marketplace today, so everyone can have the full performance update. Yeah, we saw it straight away. Raoul, you must have like the big red telephone. It's done. Release. Do you know? And it worked. Do you know? Fantastic. Anyway, great news, Raoul, and incredible support. I want to show you something. You may or may not have realised this before. Remember I spoke about like the safety features and the exacting features of the real aircraft? Have a listen to this. Or if I go slow. Like, when we talk about attention to friggin' detail on this thing, it is mind-boggling. It's awesome, right? Anyway, we continue on. The first thing, you're met with this EFB, and it'll go through your pre-flight, flight plan, integration with SimBrief and Navigraph, has everything that you would expect to have. What I love about it, though, we start getting into the ground operations. This is kind of simulating that of like an FBO, whereby you need to get your aircraft prepped in terms of ordering or, you know, setting your fuel, your passengers and your weights. Then you got to load the aircraft. Fuel truck will come out. You'll see the fuel truck come out, do its business, ramble off, and then the passengers come out and they're loaded in and then they ramble off. It simulates all of that. And the timings as well, right? Cyrus is here changing me lights to deal, look. Thank you very much indeed. My mother was after leaving me, the 2 dogs and the cat to fend for ourselves for a few hours. What could possibly go wrong, says Patrick. Stay here. Don't go anywhere, Patrick. Don't even go outside the door. Stay exactly here, right? Now, so, in terms of the aircraft, I could add in some fuel. That's what I'm going to do. Now, I can load this in real time, or I could load it in instantly. For this, I'm just going to load it instantly, lads. And that's it. Click of a button, you're good to go, right? Then we have our cabin comfort. If you had passengers loaded in there, well, your passengers give a Continental what you do. What I mean is, if you're flying along and your handling is rough or you're in very rough weather, the pillows will move. They'll fall. They'll go all over the shop. Then your passengers will be on having a moan. This man has taken the Dennis Hickey out of this, right? And they'll be complaining. But then they want to have snacks. They're going to get hungry. Or maybe they want a cup of coffee. They get thirsty. And everything is monitored by the PAX status window just up here. Then you have the cabin status itself in terms of its temperature. If it's too hot, they complain. If it's too cold, they complain. If you have it done perfectly, they're thinking about complaining. Brilliant, right? Absolutely brilliant. But yes, hey, Ian Fisher is here. Good to see you. Energizer, welcome in. Want to know who recorded that sound? We recorded Murphy thinking out loud. Murphy, what is the square root of a hippopotamus? Right? It's the little things. When I heard that the first time, I was like, it's a bug. And I was like, no, it's not. Anyway, next up, lads, maintenance. The entire aircraft is able to function from the depth of simulation, whereby it has not only failures built into it, but it also has a maintenance tab. So if you mishandle the aircraft, if you don't fly it, if you don't look after it, it's prone to failing. Makes sense. So you have a vast array of different systems that you can keep an eye on to make sure that everything is tickety-boo. Which is incredible. Everything down from, like, you know, the brakes, the tires, the friggin' air pressure in the tires. It's all there, right? Now we have some realism options as well. Now there's a couple of things I do versus what other people might do. I like to fly the thing with full realism because I'm an idiot, and when I break things, I'll try to learn, oh yeah, that's how it broke, right? So I leave everything on in here. If you want to have engine wear and tear, well, just in your main options, you got to make sure that your, where are they? In your assistance options, if you go to aircraft failures and damage, make sure that you have engine stress damage is turned on. Crash damage, always leave that off because it's stupid. Aircraft stress damage, I would always leave that off because it's stupid. Because what happens is, if the winds change, if the weather change, it just leave it off. However, the aircraft stress damage is very good because, well, this aircraft will monitor how you behave with the engine. And that includes hot starting the thing and everything, right? You totally break it, do you know? What else do we have? You have an FAQ, and loads of information here. I don't need to go explaining too much. And the very first time when you boot up the aircraft, you're going to be met with a couple of different screens, and each of these screens are going to let you customize your experience within the aircraft environment. You know, if you want to have certain things turned on, if you want to have things turned off, and so on, right? So there's a lot of cool stuff there that you can mess with, you know what I mean? And then we have here an FAQ, just a very quick area to jump in, and then there's notable shout outs here. It's about a big shout out to Kevin and Edson, of course, in Parallel 42, and the guys at SWS. These guys work together, by the way. FSReborn have done work for SWS and vice versa. Some amazing stuff. And of course, there's a lovely note here from Raoul thanking his family. It's just a nice touch. Do you know what I mean? The last bit here, lads, is your settings. In here, there's a couple of things you want to be careful of. For instance, action cameras. These are pretty cool. If you were activating any of the action cameras, know this. When you go to engage that action camera, for example, if you want to open and close the aircraft exit, yeah? Well, it's going to show you a preview to say, yeah, that's now on. If I now want to close the door without pressing any other button, the action camera will trigger and it's going to watch the door close. The very same for starting up the engine, is the very same for lowering the landing gear, changing the flaps, and it'll automatically put you back inside the cockpit. Just be aware of those action cameras. That's how they work. Depending on your preference, if you want them on or off, that's entirely up to you. But here's where you mess around with them. All right. Now we look at the multipliers when it comes to wear and tear. So we can like times 16, right? Times 16, or then you can reset the whole shebang here as well. And then this is where you put in, send your sim brief plan to your G1000 NXI, and then you can also turn on Navigraph charts, and you pop in your sim brief username. It looks after the rest. You can also customize the ground operations. You can check different vehicles, and you can preview said vehicles if you wish as well. It's pretty cool, right? Murph is an automatic X5 at least, right? Do you know what I mean? It's a cracker. This is just a cracker. So what we're going to do, I do technically sort of almost have a flight plan, but I haven't done it within SimBrief because we're just flying via 4, right? So I could leave the flight plan completely empty, or of course we can ramble over and create one on SimBrief and then put it in, and the aircraft is going to load up the official flight plan for us. I'm going to leave it blank for the moment. We'll get into that maybe for one of the last legs when we have to fly up over high mountains. But for this particular flight, it's only VF4. We're only going from A to B. I'm not going to worry about it just yet. All right. So I am going to have a look at my controls down here. Now, this aircraft has an interesting electrical system. It also has an interesting fuel system, right? So when we think of these aircraft, especially the PT-6A engine, you're thinking about a condition lever. It's slightly different on this aircraft. There is no, ground idle or low idle and high idle. It's either off or on. And you don't spend, a lot of time trying to horse that into position. When you want the fuel to go into this aircraft, you crank it straight up. You don't be gentle with it. Get it in there. It's like a valve switch more so than just a straight condition lever, right? So that's important. The second thing I'll tell you is the electrical system. The battery, just like the real world aircraft, the battery runs out like a divil in these. So the aircraft worked its way around it. What we're going to do, because we have a GPU on the ground, I'm going to connect it using my EFB. So to connect it, you just hit connect. That'll automatically power the buses in the aircraft. Automatically, without even hitting the battery switch, it'll power everything on. So click the battery. And all the sounds start coming alive, right? Now, if you go up on top then, we can say, well, what's actually running? You'll notice that our battery switch is off. We can turn it on because we're on ground power, effectively. We can have it all on. We can leave it off. It's up to us. For this, I'm probably going to leave it on. We can also turn on our avionics here if we want to now get the aircraft to a state that we can start testing things. Just bear in mind, ideally, your main avionics want to be off when you go to start the engine. We also have your generator switch, your alternator switch, and you also have your reverse lockout. You have an overspeed governor test that'll spin the prop just to make sure that it's cranked. But when it comes to starting the airplane, have a quick look up here. We have starting modes. So we have manual mode, or we have like this automatic mode. The automatic mode is very important. So basically, when we want to start the aircraft, we lift up the guard and we just press the button. And that's it. It goes through its own startup sequence. It'll spin the prop, it'll introduce the NG, and then once the RPM is high enough, we introduce some fuel. Once the engine then takes over, as in it's now running and there's no fear of it cutting out, well, automatically it'll shut down the starter because you'll burn it out. And you don't want to burn. That's a bad thing. You don't want to do that. If you have it on manual mode, you got to press and hold that button during the startup. You got to keep it pressed. I'll show you now when we go to start it up. Fuel pumps, we have auto settings and manual settings. Same with the ignition. We have all our internal lighting here, including dome lighting, which is handy, right? And then we have our external lighting over here and a number of de-icing equipment. So we have the surface de-icer. You also have your prop heat, and you also have a pitot heat. And as you look at the lines of the aircraft, well, you can see where we have our anti-ice or de-icing capabilities, be it boost or anti-ice itself. So the aircraft is very capable flying in icy conditions, right? You'll have to wait a while, Murph. I have to blow out my candles. Come on yourself, Scorpio. He's 12 candles today. Scorpio, happy 12th birthday. And, you know, don't eat too much cake. Do you know? Simon says, does the aircraft show 3D passengers like the Kodiak? This aircraft looks awesome. It doesn't show passengers just yet. Unless I'm very wrong, Rel, but I don't think it does. I mean, we can horse them in there, but I don't believe it does, right? So if I want to horse in passengers, you know, load, unload, and then load. So passengers are loaded, but you don't get any visual representation. Maybe it's something for a future update. I don't know. I think this is more suited when Flight Sim 24 kind of comes onto the table. You know what I'm saying? That'll make things very, very interesting. But, yeah. Happy birthday to Scorpio. Absolutely, lads. Lads, a big shout out to Scorpio 49. It's his birthday today. Your version shows the cockpit only. Grand. What do you mean my version? Just my version, or are you doing something now, are you? Interesting. Anyway, so our EFB is set up. We're on ground power. Now, usually, if you didn't have the GPU there, when it comes to your external lighting, you would tend not to turn on your external lighting because, well, that'll drain the battery very quick. But because we're on the GPU, well, we're going to put on our nav lights. You don't have a beacon light. If you don't have a beacon light, you put on your strobe. That's how that works. It's a flashing light, yeah? Your version 109 will show the cockpit. Ah, okay. What version do I have? I have the one you gave me the other night. It's grand. It's grand. It's not important. Right, so, lads, I want to get the aircraft started up. A couple of things we need to check before we start it up. Every single gadget, you just heard the fans turn off. All the circuit breakers, they're modelled and they work. Right? Like the avionics fans. Pop the switch. Uh-oh. So everything works in here. So you want to make sure that they're all pushed in. And a quick visual inspection will do. If you're in the real airplane, depends on the pilots, but they just tend to run their fingers along the tops. They'll know if one is out or one isn't. You also have a couple of more high sensor stuff up here, including your generator control, avionics buses, alternator, battery. They're all here. If your park and brake, which is pull or push, your bleed air, that's important. I always forget that. An emergency gear extension, your ECS cabin comfort. We'll go through all that in a moment. You have your flaps. You have your air conditioning unit. This is your environmental climate control. And this is important because it's modelled. It gets hot or cold in the cabin. And if you have passengers, well, they're going to let you know what it's doing. It's deadly. Corsair showing as a very loud A320. I love model matching. Brilliant. Right. The last thing we need to look at. See this autopilot level mode. And we also have this emergency ECS thing. Where's that emergency ECS thing? I'll show you that now in a minute as well. Effectively what it does, it takes the aegis and fear away from the pilot and it won't allow the aircraft to do anything nuts. So if you try and turn too sharp, it'll don't do that. You're going to put me in harm's way. And the aircraft takes over and it'll just stabilize the thing for you. It's very, very intelligent. Sometimes it's kind of scary, but we'll get to that now in a moment. So we're going to start with our fuel. We're going to go with the ignition. They're now running. And then we have our start switch up on top. So make sure that all my outside stuff has been removed except for. So Peter cover, chocks, security cones. We just want the GPU left in place. So our fuel pump is now running. Let's have a quick look down here. We're looking good. We're going to go for a start in the aircraft. Once we get some sort of movement, we want to check that our ITT is in a low position, which it is, we're going to be monitoring our prop RPM. Before we put fuel in, we monitor the prop RPM. You need this thing to be NG RPM, you big idiot. Your NG RPM. Basically, you need the RPM to be at its fastest, therefore running as cool, to get some fuel in there. Otherwise, you're going to risk a hot start. Professor Siege is here. It's good to see you. Now, if for whatever reason, once we introduce some fuel, your ITT is going to start rising, right? Internal turbine temperature. That'll start rising. If you see the thing going into the yellows and, you know, keeps going, that's an indication of a hot start. Immediately pull the fuel and turn off the starter. That's what happens. If for whatever reason the ITT is good, but the NG is not rising, that indicates a hung start. Again, fuel out, cut the engine. Otherwise, it's shagged. Right, so with that said, let's hope it's not shagged. We're going to press the button just once. If you change the starter mode to manual, you got to keep it pressed in yourself. We don't have to do that. So we're going to press the button. So we're looking at the RPM rising. That'll stabilize, then we know she's moving. So it's hitting around 16%, and I'm now going to go fuel in. Now we monitor the ITT. I'm thinking around 700 and odd it'll peak. 714 peak. Good start in the engine. That starter switch automatically turned itself off, because once the NG hits about 50%, we're good. We're good. Now we can see pounds of thrust per feet is grand. ITT is safe. Prop RPM continues to rise. NG is good. We have oil pressure. We have oil temperature. Everything is looking tickety-boo. All right? Tickety-boo. So that is a good start on the engine. So we're now going to move across the battery. We're now going to turn on our generator and our alternator. At this stage, I'm going to disconnect the GPU. Good luck to you, and thanks. We're now on what's called ship power, or our own power. So I have the gens running, alternator. I'm now going to activate the avionics. Ignition is now going to off. Fuel pumps now go to off. Leave them sit for the moment. And our avionics are starting to power up. And this is where we start putting in information for the aircraft itself. Now, while we're waiting, we want to put on our bleed air. If we need any sort of air conditioning, we can go ahead and turn it on. Adjust our temperature. Do you want the fans blowing hot or cold? What speed do we want them at? And all that jazz. All the avionics are custom built to represent the real aircraft. You'll notice that you have a landing gear, you have all your trims, you also have your electrical panel, all that information right here. So it's custom coded. It's fantastic. Now, she's not liking our takeoff configuration. That's okay, we'll start fixing this at a moment. Our ECS comfort, we're going to put that to normal. Our bleed is already on. Reappear our yoke because we'll need it. And we just keep moving across our flows here by resetting our barrel, resetting our heading. We can put on our flight directors. We can assign our first altitude for this flight. Let's just call it 3,000 feet. Point it in there. We're good to go. Back up to our overhead. Let's have a quick look. We're good over here for the moment. We're going to put on our pitot heat. We're also going to put on our taxi lights. Sweet. Windshield, defrog, anti-ice. We're not worried about that for the moment. Now, we can test our control surfaces. And you're checking to make sure everything's moving in the direction it needs to move. Yeah? We're looking good. We're looking good. Right, for my next little trick now. What do we need to do? Oh yeah, flaps. So we go for notch of flaps. And again, you have your flap indicator here. So you can cycle down through it, make sure everything is working. In this case, hopefully it is. Now we also have rudder trim. And if you look at the takeoff configuration, which you ain't liking it, so if we move our rudder trim over, roughly to about 3, your rudder trim switch is here, but you can see it line up. And then we also have our elevator trim. So we're going to put this to takeoff. Roughly here. Now, a couple of things we need to set up. So we're going to say, right, transponder. So we're going to go altitude mode. We'll leave it on VFR for the moment. Map and HSI, that's fine. CDI is going to be left on GPS because we're following GPS. What else do we need to do here now? Our map options, I'm happy enough there with all that stuff. What else do we need to do? I don't think I need to do anything. That's just a test. That's your emergency transponder. That works. Aircon is on. Fans are running. That's all okay. Flaps are at 10 degrees. That's okay. Parking brake is currently on. I'm going to press and hold the toe brakes. I'm going to click on the parking brake. Now, if you find the aircraft moving too fast for you, it's because you taxied this aircraft in beta. If you have controls that will give you a reverse axis, well, then you're laughing. If you don't, you have to kind of manually move this devil around. So the slightest bit of power, the aircraft's going to start rolling. Just drag it back a tiny little bit. It'll say beta up here on the screen, so you know that you're in a beta mode. All right? Now, I'm trying to figure out something. We take off configuration. She's not liking that. So what have I missed? There's checklists upon checklists, but I'm after missing something. I think we're okay. Raoul, did I forget something? Everything here is disconnected. Interesting. Okay, we'll figure it out here now in a second. Now, where am I taxiing to, Marv? Where am I taxiing to? Let's have a look. Passenger seatbelts? I think we're good there. By the way, your plane is stuck in feather mode. Oh wait, is it passenger seatbelts? Gibbo, you could be a genius. Cabin comfort. Pack status. Well, I've no passengers, so it shouldn't matter, should it? I don't think that'll matter. Seatbelts on the tablet, but I've no passengers though. Hang on a second. So we'll talk to Raoul here for a minute. Hello, good afternoon. Ignition fuel pump. Asher, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Hello?
How's it going? How are you?
Hello?
Well, how are you?
Yes, I hear you.
Cool. What are you doing up at this time of night? You should be in bed.
No, I'm been releasing updates and using my red phone.
You're on the red phone. I love it. Come here.
Yeah.
Have I broken it already?
Yes. What you're experiencing is this. There is a key bind for the prop pitch, and you must have it set. So what's happening is you are telling the simulation that your propeller are feather. This is a problem that we're having with the SDK. So you need to unbind that and then let the simulation to do the propeller pitch for you.
Okay, so is it like
that one? You see that propeller pitch low, but you must have it attached to your hardware. So what is it? Controller. What is your hardware? That's a keyword.
Yeah,
Find your joystick and stuff.
Hang on now, I'll show off a very fancy one here. This is me Warbird Verpal. Oh yes. So it's going to be the one for low, yeah? So
all of them take it off.
Wait now. Okay, so we want the one for propeller pitch low and high, is it? Or just low?
No, you want not to have any. There must be something bind and you need to unbind it. That's a problem.
So you think something's bound already to it?
Yes. And then what's happening is maybe the hotels were dark or something. And then what happened if he has set it up to low? There you go. You see that one there? Propeller axis, you see it? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's only prop axis for... Oh, you need to turn off the prop axis as well?
Yes.
Right.
That's what's happening, yes. This is the thing, right? On SUA 10, I put a code on my system that will catch this bind and remove them. And at some point between SUA 10 and SUA 13, the simulator have brought apparently new type of binds, and now I can catch it. So this is what's occurring. I need to ask Asobo to help me with this now.
Because you see, that's why you're in charge. So if I go back into the plane now, I've unbound that, but it's still coming up. Right, hang on. We'll figure this one out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's now coming up. So if I do, no.
I think you're gonna. Yeah.
You think restart it?
But you are on beta now, which is different. Can you move the throttle a little bit? What is your prop RPM looks okay now?
Okay,
Let me see.
I don't have throttle. Hang
Yeah,
on.
that's it. You're okay now.
Okay, so we need to figure out the throttle. Yeah.
Okay.
So why isn't that working? Why did the throttle turn off? Stupid thing. Let's see. Search by input. Search by input. Joystick axes. That was strange. It actually took my my throttle out of it.
Oh, well, there you go. You see, it's a little bit weird going on. Okay.
Okay, let me see. Is it throttle 1? Ah, Jesus. What do we use this for? Is it throttle?
Throttle axis.
Throttle axes, isn't it? Throttle axes. There you go.
It was there. I saw it.
Right, validate, apply and save. Okay, now we still have takeoff configuration coming up on the screen.
Yeah, but I want one problem at a time. Okay.
Okay.
You're good now.
Okay.
Okay. So now the takeoff config is because you need to put the rudder to the right, which I think you did.
Yes.
The takeoff trim set, I think you did.
Yes.
And then you need to put the fuel pumps on manual and the ignition on manual. That's on the checklist. So on the top overhead panel.
Yeah, done.
Okay.
Oh, look,
okay,
you fixed it.
Yeah. And then there. Okay. And now, that's it.
You know some stuff about this airplane.
Well,
I mean,
I've been doing this for 17 months.
I love it, man. I love it. That's brilliant. That's
I reckon
fantastic.
if someone sit me in front of this stuff, I will fly it. I don't know if I will land it, but at least I can get it out of the ground.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. No, it doesn't matter about the manual. I see ailerons given out to me. We call ailerons to him. It wasn't about the manual. There is. So if someone else has the same issue, if you have a axis on your joystick set to your propeller, you got to remove it for this aircraft. Just save the profile under the FSR500. So you don't need to do it every time. And then the next glitch was that deleted me throttle. So there was a bit of jiggery pokery. And then I had to come with the fuel pumps being in manual and the ignition system being on manual. That part I did mess up on. But the rest of it, it's grand.
What up?
God almighty. So come here. Are you having fun like people are just flying it? I mean, do you now get to fly this just to enjoy it?
Well, since release, I've been really giving people help. The feedback has been incredible, very emotional for me. I read the messages and I just start crying sometimes.
Go away.
Yeah.
Dude.
So I think it has been kind of a little bit different for people, this type of product. You know that we put this wizard of welcoming on the airplane, right, when you load the first time.
Yes.
And my objective was to kind of give a little bit of a warning. Look, it's not just failures. These are proper real failures, right? It's not what you're used to. But people didn't really understand the message, and they went with the wizard and said, "No, give me everything on." And then obviously we're starting getting reports of why my engine doesn't start, why my engine is dying, why my engine is doing this. So it was full on since Thursday all the way to Saturday answering questions. Then obviously you remember down on your stream you were saying there is something on the aircraft that's causing some performance problem.
Yeah.
And we couldn't replicate. I mean, we had 20 people on the team, 20.
Jesus.
And nobody had it. So obviously we thought that was just something related to your particular setup and nothing else. But then when you go live and more type of setups are now available on the market, then people were reporting the same symptoms as you did. And, you were helping me, endlessly all the way Saturday, Sunday.
Not at all.
To try to find things. And eventually we really, 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 really could find what the cause was. And since then, now you can see the difference, right?
Oh,
This is how
yeah.
it's supposed. This is how it's supposed to be.
It's,
There's someone asking a question. The 20 people I'm mentioning are beta testers that do this out of their heart. At the moment, I'm the only developer doing all this work. But they are actually helping with the support on their own time when they can, obviously, on the channel, on my server, and questions, stuff like that.
It's been flat out. It's gas rail because, like, when when the aircraft first released, I was getting like 60 odd FPS, which I thought, yeah, this is nice. And then that dastardly memory leak or the issue with the fix that you've made, I'm now getting 90 FPS with the same aircraft. Yes. So, like, talk about optimization. That was a huge bit of optimization put in.
Well, this is the thing, right? My developing PC on purpose is almost as close as a Xbox X, Xbox S, I would say, except that I have more RAM than the Xbox S. So on my system, I get 60 FPS. So I'm expecting people to have double what I have or something, right? And then the reports came in with people like you that have an RTX, super duple, whatever. And I was like, I don't understand. But now we're narrowed down to the proper performance. I mean, these aircraft have over 100,000 lines of code on C++.
What?
And it has over 60,000 lines of code on that tablet that you have on the left. And the problem was on the tablet on one line.
That's insane.
So to find it was really difficult. I mean, someone saying this guy hasn't slept, and it's true. I haven't. I mean, we were just fully testing, especially because of the difficulty at the moment I have a daily job. Mm-hmm. My only chance was creating some testing code at night to give it to the testers during the day, and they will give me feedback, and then I will go back at home with all the bad results. Now it didn't work, and then try again. and we were doing this for the entire Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. On Wednesday morning, we identify the cause. Put the patch on Marketplace by Wednesday. What was it? 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And it's out now. So there you go, guys.
That's
Talk
incredible.
about commitment. Don't tell me that FSReborn cannot provide what you need on the bad times.
I'm telling you, but you're just setting a terrible standard because we're going to expect this. Do you remember that time you didn't sleep for 17 weeks? Right, brilliant. Yes. We want it again. But no, listen, Raoul, it's like this is our first big flight with it in a big group flight. I'm so excited to see how everyone enjoys it because I know they've been flying it on and off during the week. I've flown it on and off during the week. It's an absolute masterpiece. It is a masterpiece. And what makes me scratch my head more is you managed to do this within the confines of the SDK from Microsoft and Asobo. It's not only an inspiration to us to know how good these aircraft could be. It's inspiration to other developers to say, oh, hang on, we can actually do it. I mean, it is possible, right? So hats off to you, dude. Are you coming flying with us? You have to fly with us.
Well, I was about to, but then
I broke it.
Then now I'm kind of stuck. I'd rather watch. I stay with you in voice. I think we can keep talking and doing things.
Let's see what we can start breaking.
And then we can give people the opportunity to ask me questions now. They're on the chat, and then if I am flying, I'm going to be unable to read, right? But right now, at least I can read, and then they can ask me things, and I'm happy to answer.
Right, okay. Well, what we're going to do, I'm going to bring in some sim sounds. I'm going to power up because we're going to take off here, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's have an old gog here. So, right, we're good to go. So, power coming in. So nice. Okay, take up power set. Airspeed is alive. 40 knots. It's a little bit squally. We're looking for around the 85 or so. Yep, see Daisy. Positive rate, gear up. Nice. At 120. Gonna bring our flaps in.
Nice.
Oh, this is interesting. Hang on. There's something not right. Let's see here now. This is the sim now having a complete another moment. Search by input. Yeah, so it's deleting me flaps and me gears. What the hell? Hang on. Open preset. Let's have a look. We're in trouble here. It's just, I don't know, did it delete or it's just not reading it? So if I go to Warthog, throttle. So hang on a second. Default, throttle, FSR. Let's see if this fixes it. Right, that fixes it. So all I want to do is remove the pitch or the throttle or the, whatchamacallit. Throttle is good, so prop. We want to just turn off the propeller. Clear, validate. Now, does that keep everything else working? Yeah, that keeps everything else working. All right, grand. So we're going to apply and save, go back.
That's it. That's it. What happened was that you had it twice somehow. Do you see? That's okay. That's fine.
Very, very strange.
Okay.
Right, okay, so we have our buttons back. So we didn't actually get the gear up and we didn't get the flaps in, but now we're working good. Grand. Hey, Hans Gruber's here. Come on yourself. Right. It's very windy. We're on live weather. Right, so what we're going to do, right? I'm going to do a bit of science here now, right? So we're going to get, this is when we do a count, right? Raoul, do you know the rules of this?
Rules.
So there's rules to do. I tell you, we'll have you streaming before you know it. So what we do, right, now that we're airborne, well, you have to ask folks in the chat, if they're on the Xbox, press 1, if they're on the PC, press 2, and if they're here because, you know, they're here, they press number 3, and it's great crack. Things will go quiet for you, but then I'll be back, so you can do it there now, so you tell them.
Okay. So what do I need to tell them? Sorry, I'm a little bit lost.
Okay, so if you're on the Xbox, press 1.
Okay.
If you're on the PC, press 2.
Okay.
And everyone else, press 3.
Okay. They're doing that already.
Yeah, but you do it, though. It's all part of it.
Right.
Sounds better.
Okay. So if you are on PC, press 1. If you are on Xbox, press 2. And if you just here, press 3.
That's excellent. Jesus, you did that very well.
Jesus, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. That's the great thing about being put on the spot again. Right.
Hello, Fireflies. Welcome to the Flying Circus. We live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2000 Zulu time, right here. Right, now, let that be a lesson for everyone. I have to press buttons here. Raoul, you still there? I pressed the button.
Yes.
Right,
yes,
you're still here.
I am here.
Excellent. Right, so what we've done, I've made it go too fast and she's given out to me. But that's okay. We've just taken off, right? And now the likes of the yaw dampener, will that come on automatically, or you just have to press it yourself?
No, you have to press the yaw damper yourself.
Perfect. Okay, well, we've already done that, so we're laughing. We've loads of people here. Look, it's very busy. So we've 46 people flying with us on the PC, 4 on the console, and the instructor, Raoul, is teaching Murph how to properly fly everything. It's all going well, right? It's brilliant. Who else is here? The lovely Kaharia is here. Dear Appo is here, welcome in. T-Spark, you're very welcome in. Here's one for you now. Well, myself and Raoul are going to be chatting, right? If you're flying in the FSR500, press number 4. Actually, yeah, press number 4. So we'll get a bit of an owl indication of how many people are actually flying this aircraft this evening. So what I'm doing here, right, Raoul, I mean, this aircraft, you can treat this as the most, general of general aviation airplanes, provided you watch your speed and your temperatures and pressures, or you can fly it as you would IFR, everything going by, your nav settings, your altitude. You can fly the thing in IMC. Like, you've given us the option to kind of fly this aircraft the way we want it, and not only from, damaging it or trying not to damage it. If you want, you can have all that turned off as well, right?
You can say, I don't want any failures. I want to use my Control E and start it and go in the air and do whatever I want and leave this thing, leave me alone. I don't want to have any problems. And that's absolutely fine.
That's so handy. So handy. Now, let me see. So she's given out to me about my gear, but that's okay. That's probably about speed. So if I go heading mode, we're going to activate the autopilot. We're going to say heading mode. We're going to say altitude VS. Now, we could set this up into flight level change. If I click on flight level change, that'll put in the speed. I can lower that or higher it depending on what speed I want to keep the aircraft at, and it'll pitch based on what speed it's trying to maintain. What else do we have? You have this level button, this autopilot level mode.
Yeah. So let's say that you find yourself in trouble, and you might be having some discapacitation or something. This is a safety feature that you can use as a safety feature. You press it, and then the autopilot will take and level your aircraft, wind levels and pitch level. So that is done all as it is on the real aircraft.
So when things go wrong, not that they'd ever go wrong with me, but if things ever went wrong with me, just press the big blue button and everything is sound.
Well,
I like it.
It will put you level and activate the autopilot, right? So it's kind of trying to prevent. They improved this with the next aircraft that they did, and they have something called Halo, which is a safety feature where you press the button and it will land it for you in an airport. Yeah, it's amazing what they have done with that kind of things.
That's absolutely nuts. So I just see here from the chat, we have a good load of pilots over on YouTube tonight, lads. Thank you very much indeed. Raoul, we have 15 pilots in the FSR 500 with us tonight so far.
Wow,
that's pretty
amazing.
Awesome. That's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, cool.
And there's a total mix of other aircraft, including, I think that's supposed to be a B2 Spirit. Who knows? I mean, Wildcat, Kodiak. There's a great kind of mix of aircraft here, which I love. So what I have this aircraft currently set to, we have it on altitude 2,000 feet, and we had it on flight level change. My speed is now going to start kind of trickling up. I need to watch that myself. There's no, well, when I say there is a toga button here. What can you tell me about the throttle system?
Okay, so it does have a toga button, but we haven't implemented it yet because there was no support for toga on the G1000. But Matt from Working Title pinged me recently on SUA Beta 14, and they are bringing it over. So as soon as this becomes, I mean, it appears they're bringing it over, right? I think he was teasing me with that and other bits that they're doing. So as soon as they do, obviously we're going to implement it and do everything. Now, the nice thing that I know for sure the SUA 14 is going to do is you go back in the aircraft for a second and you show me there is like a Garmin keyword that is on the center console. That is it wasn't supported for SUA 13. You see that there. So now they are actually making it supportable. So as soon as F14 is out, we're gonna animate all these buttons and all these kind of things,
Nice.
and then it will work natively with the unit as well, with hardware, because I know there are people that have the physical hardware for these things, so they will be able to use it, and that's thanks to working that now implementing it. So looking forward for that.
Raul, I have a request, if possible.
Yes.
Do you know the way if you were to press and hold the right ALT key on your keyboard and it changes your cursor to that magnifying glass so you can pop out a panel? Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be possible? Could you do that with that lower keyboard? Is that possible?
No, this is the way that is designed by the system. Microsoft Flight Simulator does it. Oh, for the keyboard, no.
Yeah.
I don't think we can do that because it's only for HTML instruments, and that's a hardware. So I don't know. Maybe.
Or maybe it's possible. I don't know. Maybe if
maybe move it as a 3D and shows there. I don't know. But but it can be poppable because that only the units and things are poppable. Like the EFV, you can pop the EFV. Try.
That's ridiculous.
Hello? Yes, you can.
I didn't even know you could do that. That's deadly. Get out of town. That's fantastic. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. So now there was someone on the server that wants to actually pop it and make it work in a different display, but he's using a software, I forgot the name, and it's going wrong. So I told him to install this patch because we know that we had much more performance with this one. Try again, and if it didn't work, we're gonna find out why, because the pilot that helped us the most to get this as per real, he wants to actually, this is the next stage. I haven't finished. I'm gonna make more stuff for this, right? So what happening is that at some point, I don't give dates, but it's gonna be before February. There's gonna be a new button on the tablet that is for custom failures.
Nice.
And then the idea is that you can trigger these as a scenario, like they do on CFI pilot kind of training. So they want to use that and put the tablet upside so they can do things for the pilot, and then hit them with scenarios that they have to follow.
That's insane, man. That's going to be awesome. I love it. I love it. And I'm just trying to think now. So, lads, if anyone has questions about the aircraft, if you're flying it along and it's misbehaving, I see MuseFan was asking the question there.
Yes. Okay. So the inhibit means that you have turned on the stall heat, but it's not hot enough for the stall heat to be active, right? Sorry, it's not cold enough on the air for the stall heat to be active. So because you're turning it on, and it could burn the pitot of the stall, it inhibits it. As soon as you get rid of that, it will go out. But if you climb very high and it's very cold, then the CAS will be going. It's just an informative CAS. It's nothing negative. You could put your switch on, so when you reach your cruise level, start protecting you against ice and stuff.
Nice. Like there's so many intricate systems. Like I'll never forget it. You were telling me, because you actually got quite excited because the feedback you were getting from pilots flying the plane, you were like, look guys, Piper said the aircraft should do this, and they were like, no, don't mind that, it doesn't, it does this. And you took that information and actually baked it in here. So like when we talk about realism, right, I mean, yes, you can have a realistic aircraft that will behave based on what the aircraft manufacturer says, but when you have pilot feedback, I mean, that's quite unreal. Actually, it's
gonna be now from well, with the Sting S4 we did the same thing, because we had 2 pilots from the S4 during the beta process that helped to tweak things. Both is much more simpler than this, right? So many systems that these aircraft have in comparison with the Sting S4. But I always wanted to have that kind of info from real people. It's the best that you can have. Because unfortunately, I'm a very experienced developer, I'm a very experienced flight simmer, but I haven't been on the type, right? And I don't have the opportunity to do that. So having their feedback telling me, oh, can you please increase the drag? Can you please decrease the drag? Can you please add this? Is just invaluable. So the philosophy on FSReborn for every product we're gonna develop is actually that I will go on my cave, right?
Right.
Do my stuff, and just as we did with the FSR500, when I told you we're ready to show something. When I reach that stage, it means that I have a confidence level now to bring the pilot in. Because if you bring the pilots too soon, right, in the process, you will never get anything done. Because they will go into the level of detail so deep that you can't continue finishing the basics, right? There is a process of doing this aircraft where you need to have the basic 3D, the basic sounds, the basic FDA, right? And when you have that, you can tell the guy, right, go now and record the sound from the real plane and put it here. But he can't go and record all the real sounds and then come to something that doesn't have all the animations going, that doesn't have the propellers going at the right speed and stuff like that. He's going to ask you, okay, yeah, but you need to give me an aircraft that does something basic. So the process goes through many levels of flight models. Flight model version 1 is the one that they take to put the initial sounds, and then by flight model version, I would say 10, they tweak them again, and then it gets narrowed down. And that's when the pilot comes in, because to reach that flight model 10, you have to have the pilot. So we will do the same thing with the Phenom. You will hear nothing. Suddenly, Raul show you a picture on Discord, and you go, "Oh my god!" and then that means that we're gonna showcase it how far we are, and at that point we're gonna bring attention for new testers like we did with this product. But the exposure towards this product has been so great that I already have 3 Phenom pilots waiting on standby.
Nice.
And they are ready, because now the experiences that we earn from this, I need to polish this. It's the process of when you release something new. The process will be that now I know the data I need. I'm going to give them the spreadsheets of Excel files so they can start recording data from now, even when I'm going to use the data actually probably in 10 months. What? And that means that I'm going to have such amount of data that my tables for the simulation of the engine is going to be probably more accurate than what we had in this one. Because obviously what happened with FSR500 was at the point the pilot came in, I thought I was almost done. and you saw what happened, right? We did the first showcase, we went to Houston, come back, and there was 3 months of carry on. Yeah. And I still have open tickets from the pilot to finish all the details that we're going to be doing.
Well, here's one, right? Because we've quite a lot of questions coming in over on YouTube, and right. thanks for Gibbo for pointing them out. But we have a couple of questions. I'm going to try and combine them into 3 questions, right? So, first up is, will passenger visibility be a thing for both PC and Xbox? Is that planned? Will we get to see passengers 3D modeled?
That's a good question, because a lot of people keep asking me this, and this is the reason why I'm not putting passengers at this point in time. This is a personal thing. I'm a perfectionist, and I like things to look nice and neat. The difficulty we have currently on this current engine of graphics is that everything looks beautiful. You can see upside, you have the internals, and you can see the shadows coming on the corners, and when the lighting kicks in, all that kind of thing. That is thanks to something that we call ambient occlusion. And the ambient occlusion gets baked on the main 3D object, as you see here. However, that main 3D object that we have what we call, in Microsoft Flight Simulator, a limit of birds. Okay? So I cannot go to certain limit because it will not work correctly. You will have even worse performance issues that we had before, and will not work on console, xCloud, etc. So we have to stick to those limits. When you add passengers, because of those limits, the passengers are an external 3D that gets attached to the main one. And that brings over a challenge, because now the ambient occlusion of that object is separate from the ambient occlusion of the aircraft. So when it's night and you put the lights on the aircraft, the LEDs that we put in, all that kind of thing, the ambient occlusion of the skin of the passengers doesn't react as well as the other materials that you already have done inside the airplane. And they cause the effect that I call they look like zombies. They look like they're dead. And they look that they're dead because the skin is not reacting to the light. Understand the problem, right? So now as you pay attention to the pilots, the only area that they have exposure in the rendering is the face. And you pay attention to the ground crews or Microsoft Flight Simulator, the only area that they have exposed is the face. And what they have done to mitigate this zombie effect, they put sunglasses, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a trick they're trying to do to keep things looking appealing. But passengers will not be wearing sunglasses, and passengers will not be wearing, all covered. They have different kind of attires on them, and then you start seeing these flaws. I really don't like them. I feel it breaks in the whole thing. So what I want is to implement them when these change, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to change in the future. And when that does, then yes, we put them on, right? But we don't want to put something on that looks. It will break the hard work that we did for the lighting. You have seen it when it's night and you put these panels and the lighting all around. It just looks so beautiful, and then you will have someone there with the arm showing,
a weird arm. I get you. No, I love it. Okay, good stuff. So another question then, with the plans for Xbox, will there be a dedent, as in a beta dedent, so that a button has to be pressed to go into beta mode?
Yes.
Brilliant.
It works exactly as how they work on their Xbox controllers to go into reverse. Exactly like that. It has been done absolutely compatible with the Xbox console without thinking ahead. So when they go, I don't know what aircraft I have on the scene that I have reverse by default. You're thinking one. I think what is it that they? I think it's probably the CG4, and they do press this little button, and then what happens is when you go up, it will switch to reverse, and that's exactly how they can do it.
Ah, okay, sweet. And then the last one I can see here. Will it be possible to change the interior colours in the future? Perhaps it might be assigned to a different livery, or have you plans on changing what it looks like inside?
What has happened since release, which it hasn't been that long, just 1 week, there were certain amazing enthusiasts out there that have changed already the carpet colors to black, and they changed the dashboard to black. And I saw the pictures and I really liked it. So initially we're going to do a mod for PC so people can start trying it. And then if it's okay, I'm going to ask Alex how I can do multiple interiors so someone can change it, right? So you could probably pick it up as a livery, for example, Firefly white carpets and Firefly black carpets or something like that. And then that way we can handle it.
I like it. I could just say, I just see Dougal. I have dirty hands and my white leather is grubby now. To be like, you can just picture it now. I love it. Right. So what we're doing here, if anyone else has some questions there for Raoul, because it's a treat that Raoul is here with us, right? As I try to attempt me first landing, it'll be totally fine. I've got this. But talk me through a landing in terms of, well, okay, when you're going to land an aircraft, as soon as you're getting ready for flaps down, yaw dampener out, watch your speed, your approach, everything like that. Is there any kind of tips you'd have to say, this aircraft handles slightly different, as in, because of this safety mode in it, you can't really do an extreme hard bank to turn on final because the aircraft will correct that. So it's all about kind of extending your landing turns and stuff, right?
So on the tablet you can disable this anyway. You see? That's what is called a stability protection, which comes like that on the real Garmin units. And then what you can do on the real units, you have a menu on the units to disable it. But because I didn't want to change the working title 1000 too much, so it's easy for me to keep updating it when they release updates. We decided that it was easier probably to put it on the tablet EFB because it can go there and just turn it off. So you turn the electronic stability off, it will just allow you to do whatever you want, including spirals and things that you should not be doing anyway.
I love it.
There is a question here. Someone's asking me about the other two LSAs that I announced. Yes. So what has happened is since we released this thing S4, I have a full 3D already done, which is called the TL3000. It's a ultralight high wing, and I did it on two versions. We have the normal gear wear versions and the floater version. But the market has been reacting very negatively to the default units G3X, and I've seen so many people saying, "Oh, the default units from Asobo G3X are so bad," and board of developers releasing aircraft with these units. So, because of that, we move forward the FSR500 first in the hope that those avionics could improve, because those ultralight that I have use in the real life those avionics, and I have a deal with TL Ultralight that I have to do these aircraft as per they sell them. I cannot modify them.
Wow.
It is complex. When we were doing the S4 to put the GTN 750, I had to speak to them for 2 weeks trying to explain them why I wanted to put that there. Right. And initially they were negative on it. And as I explained what people do, obviously they don't understand the Microsoft Flight Simulator market, right? They just give me the permission to do it and give me all the data to do everything, but they need to understand why you want to do something like that, because in their mindset, someone will try on the sim and then believe that that's what they can have when they go to the manufacturer. You understand? So when I explained, then they were open to it. So because those units G3X hasn't been improved, I'm afraid to release the aircraft like that and then have a bad impact. So I've been waiting to see if it gets improved. So hopefully they will. I think they're on the back burner, ready to go. I mean, it's just waiting for that.
Right. Okay. Nice. Like the program's asked Murph, can we put the plane in an unusual attitude to see the pillows fall on the floor? Yes, you can. So what I'll do, I'm going to turn off the stability management thing, right? Just for the sheer crack, right? So that'll be under realism, I believe, and it's under here we go. Is it ESP? Right. So I've just turned off that, don't turn off that button, and let's see what happens, right? So we've just arrived here at our first stop, lads. Lima Golf Zulu Alpha. It's a first little stop, and we're going to bait on now to the next island. You can see the weather. We're on live weather. It's interesting. It's certainly windy, so it's squally. And Keen Lamford is here. It's good to see you. So what we're going to do, we're going to get ourselves ready here, and we're going to keep the show on the road. So many planes. Model matching is kind of doing its thing tonight. But Microsoft are absolutely working on all the multiplayer side of the house. I mean, that's where they're working on most of their updates for Sim Update 14. So most of the updates are on closed servers, but you might see them cutting across into what we do here. So if you see weird and wonderful things, it'd be grand, do you know? So with the stability stuff turned off, you can see where the pillows are there now, right? I'm going to fly this like, you know what I mean? Like I drive me Skoda, right? Very, very calmly. And we'll see what the crack is there, right? Raoul, has it been a bit of a relief for you now that the aircraft is finally out there and you can kind of go,
Well, the relief is today, because I finally managed to put this performance patch out. And I know that from today it's going to be much more smooth. After a week, the server is starting to calm down now with the questions, which is great. They understand now. I think the market is understanding now that when I say releasement setting on means releasement setting on. So that's great. So yeah, I mean, for me, it has been just a really emotional moment of seeing how much people like it, right? Because I'm building this as my personal dream and sharing it, and then seeing that people love it so much, it's just been just really overwhelming, really.
And timelines, roughly, are we talking weeks or are we talking months for Xbox?
Oh, we're talking weeks.
Nice.
We're starting the test Monday, It has been, I mean, the version that we just released today for the general patch that contains the performance fix and other fixes in there is the potential Xbox candidate. We just need to test now, right?
Nice.
So basically, I expanded the Xbox team for 3 more people. There are 2 that are customers on PC that they own Xbox. So they were added, and 2 more that are on Xbox exclusive, nothing else. Plus the rest that I have normal for these things, which is around 8 of them. So that means, how much is that now? 8 plus 3 plus 2, that's around 14, 15 people are going to be testing Xbox from Monday, including me.
That's awesome. And on,
Yeah.
on a point of realism, me pillows are on the ground. Someone needs to pick them up. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Like, I to be honest, right, because it's a glass cockpit, and I told you, I was like, I just need a steam gauge. I didn't think I'd enjoy flying the glass as much as I do with this thing, but it's because it's more than what we're used to. I mean, you had to custom code this stuff, didn't you? I mean, you had to get the flaps and the landing gear. You had to get all that jazz in here yourself.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, that was hell.
Oh, brilliant.
Well, the difficulty with Microsoft Flight Simulator is a moving target because they have to improve so many things, and it happens so fast. That, how I put it, you could be 1 week working on your animation of the flap, and then you think, okay, let me start putting on this next stage, and SUEX hits, and you find out that whatever you were doing is not working after the new SUEX, so you have to fix whatever wasn't working, catch up with that, and then the SDK has changed at that point, and there is a documentation with release notes sometimes of X amount of pages, and then you have to go through it and catch up. Okay, now this is this. Oh, this now fixes the box I reported. Oh, and now I have this. So it's a constant moving target, and it's quite tricky. The G1000 units has been updated by working title massively, incredible good now. I mean, they added VNAP, they added, all sort of things. They're adding things even right now. I mean, think about it. I just released, and they told me SUA 14 now has Toga and now has this. Right? Hold on, but I just released it, right? So that's the moving target. So it's challenging because whatever you learn, sometimes you have to learn by looking at the code of their example airplanes that are live. So you will need to open something like, I don't know, the Cessna Caravan. I have a look through the Garmin code that they have to learn it, because obviously they are put as well in such a pressure, working title, to release these updates that sometimes they don't have time to document, And I totally understand it's impossible for them. So it's difficult to catch, and they are very open now on their Discord server. I go there and ask a question, and they do their best to help you, which is great. And you guys are listening. Thank you very much for everything you guys do. But it's the reality that we face is that it changes, right? And then something that you were used to, how I used to work 3 weeks ago, you land one Monday and, oh no, it's all different. Oh my God, what I have to do? And then you have to relearn and go for it. So putting those gauges were a little bit tricky, but I found my way in. And then I started putting all that.
Jeez. It's amazing, man. Amazing. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to give you a break to have a cup of tea, or like me, have a cup of tea. We're going to play a bit of music. But if anyone has any questions that they'd like to ask Raoul about this aircraft, what it was like putting it together, or if there's anything you're thinking on, that now is the best chance to ask. I mean, like, the developer is here in the chat with us. So we'll jump back to Raoul now in just a moment as we press a button, and we'll have a bit of music and check out the views. I wonder will this work actually. Can I don't think I can. Yeah, I have to wait until we land. Remind me to change that when we land, lads. It's very, very important. Do you know? we just get some pints of Guinness emotes, the Gibbo emotes, into the chat for Raoul, who's joined us all the way from his humble abode to tell us what's going on. And the crowd goes wild. Look at the mountain of votes. Sure, listen, lads. While we're waiting, because Raoul's gone off to make a proper cup of tea, we'll do another count. So, if you're on the Xbox, press 1. If you're on the PC, press 2. If you're here lurking and a working, press 3. And if you're flying in the FSR500 by FSReborn, press numero 4. Yeah, baby! Did I mention it's Friday? Poor L. Kane Lafford, we have him going absolutely flat out here, you know.
He thinks you're the biggest agent of them all.
So, Keane is currently doing some counting to see what happens. So why didn't that come up on the screen? I'm after breaking it, lads.
He thinks you're the biggest agent of them all.
Raoul, are you back to us? Did you make a cup of tea? I know.
He thinks you're the biggest agent of them all.
Right, now, one Keane so far. Hang on, I forgot to press the button to unmute Raoul. Jesus! How are you, Raoul? Back to you now. How's it going?
Aha. Okay, hello. Hello.
This is awesome. So we have 40 people flying along. 2 of them are in VR, 2 are on the console, and we're just waiting now for the numbers flying the FSR. There's a couple of, well, I won't say there's a couple, but there's definitely an Easter egg on the aircraft itself. Now, I'm not going to highlight it. I want people to find it because it is interesting. But it's you could say it's in and around the propeller, wouldn't you say? Like an Easter egg. You know the thing in the propeller, the thing?
I don't know, man. I have put so many.
Do you remember do you remember the name on the propeller? You had to change the name.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Right, so that's sitting there. Right, so we have Chase, look at this. We have 40 on the PC, 2 in VR, 2 on console, 134 passengers plus 17 people flying this aircraft now. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Raoul, do you like the Eurovision?
The what? Eurovision?
Eurovision, yeah. You know the Eurovision.
No, I don't. I don't have time for that, man. I'm all the time coding airplanes.
Right, Keen Lafford, don't be offended. We can listen to it in the background. But yeah, Keen is our resident Eurovision countdown extraordinaire. You know, he tells us every year how long it is to the Eurovision, and when the Eurovision kicks off, well, it's like Christmas, you know. But I see a question here from Mr. 90. He says, with things changing so much in the sim, how are Asobo and Microsoft making sure that third-party aircraft keep working as intended? Do they give you guys any sort of guarantee that the core systems won't change, or is it more like the Wild West? Is there anything there you can give us a little bit of kind of intrigue with, a bit of inside kind of information, Raoul? Like, have a
They are very careful. They're very careful with the stuff they do because they don't want to introduce break changes, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
These come from misconception at the beginning of the Microsoft Flight Simulator journey. You know, I'm talking SUE 3, 5,
Mm-hmm.
where there were stuff like that. But this is the reason why the flighting has been implemented.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the reason why they now do these public betas, is to ensure that this doesn't occur. So what happened is they put, for example, SUE 14 is right now on beta. Right, and what will happen is people start testing SUE 14, and we developers go into SUE 14 and fly our stuff, and then we find out something is wrong. If we find something wrong, we report it to Asobo via the right channels. We have a specific website for us to go and say this is not working, how I do it, how I fix it, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
They take that feedback and do everything they can to get it resolved.
Mm-hmm.
As example, just 1 week before releasing FSR500, SUE 14 came out, and the animations of objects were not working, and it will break the animations for the fuel truck and all the cars and stuff that I did. Immediately we reported this, and a week and a half later they fixed it on SUE 14. So there is an incredible amount of effort from Asobo and Microsoft to keep compatibility, because for obvious reasons, if something goes wrong, everyone is affected. It's not just the developer. I mean, it's you guys as users, and that's what matters for Microsoft. Microsoft, you know, is incredibly committed to bring the best experience for all of you, and that's why they do this flighting. And obviously, responsible developers go and test the stuff on the flighting, or they have a team behind that would do such tests and then report when something is wrong.
Nice. Okay, question coming in here from Square Flares. Could you ask the question? I feel dumb asking it, but fuel temperature. Is there a way to manage it to avoid any failures when it comes to the fuel temperature?
I think if you disable everything, it should not happen. Okay, so what happened with the fuel temperature is that we simulate it as per real in the aircraft. I used the Airbus investigation tables on how long it takes fuel to heat up and cool down. And I put all down the curves. So when you go up, and the total air temperature, which is different from upside air temperature, the total air temperature is the friction between your airframe and the speed of the aircraft. And that is always lower than warmer than the external temperature. So based on that, I start calculating how long it will take to reach the freezing point. There is a CAS on the aircraft that will tell you fuel temp. When you see that CAS, it means that you are too high and you are limited by the external temperature because you are in a current environment where the fuel will start getting cold until it reach a point where you start seeing what is called wax crystals on the fuel. Now, there is a lot of debates saying, oh, but the fuel should only freeze at minus 51. Well, but that's not the case because that depends on the additive that you have and the type of the fuel that you have. And when airliners and be it and all the other pilot will confirm this, they fly between continents and countries, the fuel type changes. So you end up with a mix in your tanks that could be between one type and the other. And for that reason, you can't just confirm that your fuel, the freezing temperature is going to be that low. It could be much sooner. And the warnings start occurring for safety reasons much sooner. So we are simulating on these aircraft that you will start seeing the wax at minus 39 degrees, which is what we found on research, when the wax start appearing. Obviously, for airlines, this is no problem because they have such big filters and heaters on their tanks and stuff like that. But this is a general aviation aircraft. And what happens is the filters are very small. And if you get wax, they start clogging. So we have a full failure that will clog your lines, and you start seeing emergencies all over the place saying fuel pressure low, fuel temp, fuel pressure low. That's your warning to drop your altitude, and then you will prevent it from happening.
Wow, nice. Just so much going on. Question here from Gibbo, and it's a question from Gibbo himself. If you had to do it all over again, Raoul, what's the one thing you do differently?
Nothing.
I
love what I'm doing. It's just, I think we're on the right track. Seeing people reactions and how they like it. I mean, would you guys want me to change? I mean, I don't think I will hear anyone saying yes, please change, right? I think I like the way that we're working in comparison to where I see on the market sometimes. For me, this is experiences that when I see the positive feedback, it's so rewarding that I don't want to change the way I'm working.
That's awesome. I love that. Now, I see there's loads of questions coming in, lads. This is brilliant.
Yeah, good.
It's great. Well, I don't know how interesting it is, but it's well for you, but it's interesting for me. There's a question here from David McGrath over on YouTube. He's saying, look, I've been toying with the idea for months. Should I go buy Microsoft Flight Sim? Using X-Plane 11 and slowly it's driving me mad. Like, Raoul, you've developed for other platforms before, but I don't think you've never done X-Plane. Am I right in saying that?
I never done X-Plane. I never go into the X-Plane.
And is there something, like, it's a sim I know you're very aware of, right? I mean,
yes.
Would you have, do you see any advantages to that platform in some respects, or and it's not even about where you're happy, but do you see Microsoft just having more? Do you know what I mean? There's you have more options.
The problem with this kind of question is that it's such a personal matter, right? Some people love X-Plane and they can't stay X-Plane because it's a lovely platform as much as Microsoft Flight Simulator is a lovely platform. It's something that every single user has to decide based on their needs. We don't know what is it that is driving him mad, right? so without that, it's very difficult to giving an advice. But what I can say is, why only one sim? Why he cannot try all of them, you know, and then enjoy the best of each? Because it's clear that each of the sims will have an advantage versus another, and vice versa. So he can have all of them, and then just enjoy what he likes most of each.
That tends to be the Murphy answer. Like look at the way I look at this is, and not everyone has the opportunity or the means to have multiple simulators. I get that, but as a flight sim enthusiast, as someone who adores aviation, I would say, what's the best sim? It's very hard to answer that question. It's more aimed at, well, what's your favorite sim, and what do you do in it? So, for example, if it comes to combat, what's my favorite flight sim combat? Well, it's going to be DCS, right? What's my favorite flight sim platform? for me, it's Microsoft without a shadow of a doubt. And not only is it because we have, you know, a beautiful rendered world and the amazing graphics and the sound system and all of these wonderful things, it's because we have something which may not be the most realistic thing in the world, but it's because we have group flights, and they're done in such a way that literally you can grab a bunch of your buddies, go flying, and you can explore an aircraft, or you can explore a region together in real time. And you know, one of our viewers here tonight, Scorpio, who's celebrating his birthday, Scorpio even told us at the top of the show here, he said, "I've been to these islands in the real life," which is incredible for us, because now we have, like, it's virtual tourism, right? I mean, yeah, what's it like there? It's hot. It's hot in Greece. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of where it's at. X-Plane, I think, has great features if you're looking for them. So far as I think a lot of the airliner stuff is good on X-Plane. In particular, I love the Challenger, the Hotstar Challenger. That's a marvel of a release for any flight simulator. But I would say, well, so is the FSR500. So will be the F14 or the F4 that's coming out onto DCS. There's aircraft every so often, or every now and then, when they're released, it's like, wow, this is now possible. We can do these things. So yeah, there's no right or wrong answer, but like, I just think if you have a choice of sim, you go by your favorite one on the day. If you're happy that one sim can tick all the boxes for you, you're lucky, because, you know, it's, you know what I mean? You have an itch that you can't scratch, you know? But yeah, no, it's awesome. She's shouting at me now with my airspeed. It's all right, though. It's totally sound. I can't get over, right? And I didn't think, again, it's like everything. Piper have a very unique style, if you like, to a plane. Like, when it comes to the fuselage and the design of how everything looks, they're very comparable. I mean, that overhead panel, you've seen it in other Piper aircraft, and even the shape of the fuselage, what it's like in here, it's a very high ceiling. It's good and wide. It's not terribly narrow. It's you've managed to kind of get this exactly the way we want it. One of the most interesting features, I think, in this plane is the wing. I mean, look at the state of that wing design. It's friggin' nuts looking. Did you get much time in the real world aircraft? As in, did you get up close to it? Were you able to, was there any scanning? Was there any, you know,
No.
Putting your fingerprints on the thing?
No, we did all these based on pictures and things.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. My 3D guys are good.
It's
The process of building this is I get 3D people that does initial 3D, and they give me a canvas. They give me the 3D, and then I take the 3D and do everything else from there. Animations, and they give me the initial texture, but we do all the rest of the textures, and we adjust, you know, when you start doing the rendering on the sim. I do all the animations, all the code, the systems, everything else is done by myself.
That's incredible, man. I love it. I
Yeah,
absolutely
I
love it.
do that because what happens is, while I'm working on doing the systems of one of these circuits, like while I was doing the modeling of the engine and everything else on FSR500, they were working on the Phenom 300E. And now the Phenom 300E 3D model is done. And I already told him to start another one. I'm not going to say what it is. So what happens is, I'm working ahead. I'm having 3D aircraft completed, and I just can pick whatever I want when I finish one based on how the market is moving, right? So right now, I feel like the right one to pick up is the Phenom 300E when I start modeling all those systems, and then in the meantime, in the background, there's stuff happening that they're building. Every single investment you guys are doing on FSReborn is going to make more products. That's exactly what's happening. So, for example, with the Sting S4 income, we built FSR500, TL3000, TL3000 floats, and now the Phenom 300. And that's exactly the kind of philosophy, you know, keep going, keep going, keep going.
I love it. And I see another question here, again from David. Great questions from David, asking about helicopters coming in. So his question is, look, are there plans for big choppers in Microsoft Flight Sim, like the S92 or the AW101? The short answer is yes. There's a 139 in development. There's a Chinook. There's all sorts of Sikorskis. There's big helicopters on the way. And I think Flight Sim 24 is coming with one of the bigger ones as a native bus. You've seen it, the Skylift, whatever it's called. Raoul, would you ever look at rotary wing? Would you ever look at helicopters? Is that a passion for you, or are you just happy with the fixed wing?
I feel that the space for that kind of high quality add-ons on that aspect is already taken by the HPG group, and really is something that they are really good at it. So I don't feel like my time is the best time invested into it, because I you know how active I am everywhere, right? I'm active on multiple Discord servers, I'm active on multiple forums, I'm active on multiple communities. Everything about aviation I check every day at least once, and this is to keep myself in contact with customers about their needs. And I think they have their needs pretty much well covered with the HPG group and others that are doing an incredible amount of good work on helicopters. So it will be unfair for my up to today current custom lawyer, customers to spend my time on that when I know that they have other desires and wishes for the future that I could be developing right now.
Nice. I see a wild Colonel Fork flying with us here. That is a rare treat these days. Good to see you, Colonel Fork. Raoul, would you... Now, not without telling us what you're going to be working on in the future, right? Because when we look at the size of aircraft, you know, the Sting up to the FSR500 and, of course, the Phenom, I mean, each aircraft has gotten considerably bigger, almost to the state that you're doubling the size. Would you have an ambition? And I know...
Oh, yes.
I know there's... I don't know how public knowledge it is, the one I know about. It is public knowledge.
It is. So let me talk about that. So every person that has dreams have what I call the Everest, right? When you have a dream, you always say, my Everest is it. So if you are someone that loves cars, you might say, well, my Everest is that one day I want to have an R8, for example, right? And stuff like that. That's not how
Skoda, Skoda.
Or Crocs, you know, etc. but the whole point is that, yes, I do have one aircraft that is the one I love the most. And that aircraft is my Everest, and that aircraft is the Boeing 727-200. So the whole point of how I started this is, well, I need to show people what I am capable and teach them that they can grow with me together. It's a journey that I want people to embark with me. So we started with something small but nice that could show capabilities, right? Which was the Sting S4. And now we have come with the FSR500, where we can show that, well, we are capable of doing things much more than a simple light aircraft. And now we're going to go with the Phenom 300E, where we're going to show capabilities that, okay, well, Raul is capable as well to do multi-engines, right? And that's a progression. And the whole concept of a progression is that someone that started with me as a customer on a little aircraft prop has now upgraded to turboprop and learn it. Then the next they're going to upgrade to a jet multi-engine, and then the next we're going to upgrade to an airliner. So this is the entire progression, and obviously doing airliner is a very difficult task, much more complex than whatever we have achieved today. Aware of that, and it will have taken me years to get there, and to shortcome that limitation, I have a full partnership now with ThinkWorks Studio, Alex, and we're doing that Boeing 727 together as a partnership. And that is the objective. So with the income that we are receiving right now from the project FSR500, what people are doing really is funding the Boeing 727. That's exactly what's happening on my finances right now. So now I can tell the 3D guys, say, go ahead, you can start, doing this. So I've been in conversation with Alex. He's very close to release his PC12, which is beautiful. The PC12 guys, if you are listening, is a sister of FSR500. We work together to design technologies that are on FSR500. And just to give you an example, 2 weeks ago, someone reported that I did the trim tap of the elevator wrong. I called Alex, do you know how to do this? And he said, yes, do this. And, and we're already implementing it. This is the kind of relationship that we have.
I love it.
PC12 beta range is going to be as good as this stuff. Probably even better, because you know how obsessed he is with flight models, right?
Oh, God. Yeah.
So that's the thing about the partnership. He tells me, you are another nutcase on your brain with the stuff that you do. And he's perfectly, it's like the perfect combination in my mindset, because he's so good at flight models and the seriousness of the flight model and that kind of side of things. And I'm more into, okay, but if we're doing the 727, it must have this. And he goes, oh, Jesus, for fuck's sake. Right? so, but at the same time, it's good, because it's the kind of stuff that people love, to have those crazy details and crazy things that you should have. And that, guys, is my Everest, and we're planning to do it. And now, with all the support that we're getting with FSR500 and all the great feedback, is getting the Everest is becoming something that is feasible.
I'm loving it. Like a 727, like, for God's sakes, man. Like, yeah, let's just pick something handy. A 727 is going to be absolutely incredible. Now, you can't ask how long does it take. I mean, how long is a ball of twine, right?
Well, this is the whole problem with, but at the same time, it's good that people are learning about the concept behind FSReborn. Never give anybody a deadline, okay? And I will never do so, right? And I want people to learn why. Was it worth it waiting for this? It took me 17 months. What if I told you, oh yeah, it's going to be ready in 9 months? What will have happened? You will be absolutely upset. It will not matter how much effort I did for the product and came out as good as it is. That relationship will be destroyed, because I promised you something that I didn't manage to accomplish. And that means that the trust is broken. And that's the thing that I can't allow to happen. I can't break the trust between you and me, or vice versa, right? So therefore, it's pointless, absolutely pointless, saying a deadline, because you can't ever reach it. It's just, anything can happen, and it will break it. And then because you break that promise, then people just feel so disappointed, and it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling, because as a developer, you feel that you felt that your people that have been supporting you with your early projects, you let them down, right? And it's just not good. It's not good for anybody. So the best approach is for me to tell people, look, it's going to be done when it's ready. But you know what I have done before. I said that, and you were happy about the result. So by doing that, put your trust in me that it will be something worth it to wait.
It's fantastic. Like you have so much to do. Like, I mean, you've opened a can of worms here, really. I mean, haven't you?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff and projects and everything else. And like, I don't know, it's still early days yet. I mean, as a developer, running a business, right? I mean, or at least gearing it up to run a business, it's still very early days yet. But I'm really hoping that, things are going perhaps as a minimum as expected. And hopefully a little bit better. And it's still early days. I mean, we're approaching the holiday season. A lot of people hold off until, come the holidays. They want to pick up aircraft.
So obviously, because we're doing down partnerships, it's going to be it's easier to handle the workload, because it's not just me. Alex is bigger than me. Alex has other devs. It's not just Alex, right? So that's the whole point. So the idea is that we are going to have an approach that I can't say because we have NDAs between us, right? But we are going to be working on the Phenom. He's going to be working on other things, and there's going to be works on the 727 in parallel. That's what's going to happen, right? So it's not like, because you're working on the Phenom, nothing is happening to this project. That's not true. That the project is going to start, and it's going to be a progression, and the hope is that Phenom is out, and now we have something to start showing to people. Okay, it's actually happening. Look at it. Right. So, but is a task that if I left to only on my side, it would have taken a long time. And I felt Alec was a perfect person for that approach.
It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And it's great to see developers working together because it's a competitive space, right? I mean, SWS are making aircraft that compete with your style of aircraft. You're now making aircraft that competes with them. And then you have the other players in the room who make these aircraft looking on saying, you know, if anything, like I've always said this before, like when you have top tier developers releasing great products, it's great for the end user because we know competition is very real and they're going to want to try and come out and release something extra special, or that, you know, they want to really kind of work hard at saying, we love what he did there, we got to beat him. Right? So it's not necessarily great news from a developer point of view, but certainly for us as the end user who enjoy flying them. Put it this way, the features that you have in this aircraft are unheard of even 2 years ago. Even a year ago, some of the stuff you showed off in this thing, no way, that's not you can't do that. You've done it. It was the same by having the first, you know, deployable parachute on the Sting. What? Parachute? No, the Sim can't handle that. You did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we see some of the things, you know, some of the groundbreaking add-ons. We see it with A2A when it comes with that Comanche. There's like stuff now in Microsoft are saying, what? There's no way you can. They've done it. Same with the airliner guys, be it with Phoenix or be it with,
Phoenix, yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, okay, PMDG we kind of expected because, well, they've been around the block before, right? Just Flight are another developer who are constantly upping their game because they can see what's going on around them. So you're inspiring, that's the word. You are inspiring other developers and they are also inspiring you, no doubt, because when you look at a project and you look at, you know, what would be cool to put into this plane, that's just the market now in which we operate in. It's not a case of that will do. It's no. How good can I actually make this? And I love it because we ultimately are the winners of this. I mean, we're sitting back going, yes, we want it. We want more tomorrow and we wanted more yesterday. Keep going,
Yes.
lads. You know?
Yes. Well, my ideas are just coming from, I don't know from where. I just feel like, okay, this feels right. And I just go for it. It's a challenge. How I can make that happen, right? How I can do it. And the grown-ups on this aircraft is an example. I thought that would have been something that needs to be done there for general aviation. And that's what the whole concept. And I thought how cool it will be if I manage to put it on Xbox and working on Xbox. And there you go. You know, I will send you screenshots next week when we have the fuel truck putting the fuel tank on the right wing on Xbox, on my TV. I mean, that day I'm going to feel the best person in the world because it happened. So this is the thing. My objective is to always support Xbox as people are asking there. Now, why? Well, because they are as good and important as everybody else. Everyone else has the right to feel an add-on of this quality. We have reached a stage on Microsoft Flight Sim where I can see we can prove that the SDK is capable of anything that you can think of. It's just a matter of finding the way. And if you don't have a way, you have to speak to the people that does the simulator and ask them, can you give me a way? And this is exactly what happened with the beta range of this aircraft. I wanted to do it right because I read on a manual. I realized I could not do it right. I spoke to Alex about it and he told me, yes, you cannot do it right because these flaws. And we went to talk to Asobo. We explained to them what we wanted and they give us the means to do it. And we are embarking into the journey and here it is. So the whole point is there is nothing that stops you. You will find limits, yes, but they can be improved. And you just speak to Microsoft, you speak to Asobo, and you explain to them in the right way. They do listen, and when they can put it in, because they have an incredible workload, guys. I mean, we have to understand that. And when we put it in, then you go ahead.
It's incredible. And like those lines of communication, I mean, you don't have any previous relationship with Microsoft or Asobo. I mean, you started at the very bottom level to say, "Hey, I'm doing it." Like I was at Expo, man. I saw you make a beeline for Jorg. I mean, and that's what it's all about. So it's having that kind of willingness to say, "Look, give it a shot. What have you got to lose?" And then, like any developer in this space, it's building up trust, be it with the community or indeed with the platform owners. In this case, Microsoft and Asobo. Like they're exciting but very challenging times, I would imagine. Like as a developer, doing what you're doing here versus your normal kind of 9-to-5 job, have you do you think one helped you prepare for the other? Like, you know what I mean? Do you now find, having done a project like the Sting and now the 500, has this better prepared you for other stuff in your life, as in the whole process, working with so many people, you being a direct lead in it? Or is it kind of, more the same, your real world job kind of prepared you?
It is a mix because my daily job involves managing a large team across different countries. So I don't know if that helps with this kind of thing. But I think the approach that I took about learning something small, medium, now we're gonna go for a mid-jet, right? Because a Phenom 300 is a mid-jet. It just prepares you to go into that big Everest, right? And think about it. You don't go and run a marathon without training before for it. That's really the take. You cannot just say, I'm gonna run 25 kilometers and I have never run in my life. What's gonna happen is you're gonna die in the middle, and that's it. You will never run again. Because it will kill you, and then you will feel like, no, this is just too much. So that is kind of the journey here, bit by bit, and then I'm applying a business model where whatever I create on any project, I can reuse for the next. So, for instance, it took me 5 months to create this tablet that you have on the left, and it took me 3 months and a half to 4 to create the ground ups. But now I have it. So when I do my Phenom, I don't have to do an entire tablet from scratch. It's not going to be the same because it's a different product, but I have all the core, right? So it's not going to be now another 5 months doing a tablet. It's going to be probably one, because it's just adjusting the new stuff. And then the ground ops come over. Yes, it's different. Now the truck cannot come from the back because you fuel the Phenom from the left and the fuel is different. The fuel hose is different. Okay, but I have everything around it. I just need a new truck. So I put a different truck and there it goes. So it's not going to be another 5 months. It's going to be probably 2 weeks and I have my truck. You understand what I'm saying? Because you have created the technology, things become easier as you go. Think about landing on the moon. If you try to do the Saturn IV on day one to land on the moon, you will have failed it. But they went, okay, now let's do the Mercury's, let's do these ones, and now let's gonna do for the Saturn. This is exactly what's happening. I'm going bit by bit, and then I'm gonna get to the other one. And it's about building a reputation as well. I want people to, when that Everest come, to have such a great feeling of the company, the level of support, everything around us, because it's not just selling something. You see, how do you react when something is wrong, right? When you do a mistake, what do? Do you treat your customers fairly? Do you tell them, okay, yeah, I'm going to fix it, I'm going to do this? Or you just run for cover and you do nothing? And this week is an example, right? Yes, we had a problem. What I did, I was there.
You stayed up all night to fix it. You stayed up all week.
Yeah, I was there facing the music because I want to dance. If you want to dance, you have to face the music. And that's the whole thing, right? So it's everything around it. When that airliner comes, people are going to have a confidence. Okay, these guys are someone that I can invest. And that's very important in Microsoft Flight Simulations or any simulator platform, because with the things that have happened over the years, a lot of people are losing confidence in brands. And I want people to have the confidence on the FSReborn brand that we're not doing this just for the money. We're doing this for sharing a dream and being able to reach that dream. And to reach that dream, I have to start building little by little.
It's absolutely incredible. So I have a question now and a discussion point to kind of to close us out of this impromptu interview that I have to say has been fantastic listening to you, because it's a great opportunity getting inside your head and seeing and hearing your perspective. It really, really is. It's a treat. But what about Flight Sim 2024? I mean, in terms of you looking at what the potentials are, I'm sure there's things you are aware of that perhaps other people aren't, or maybe you're like everyone else and you're waiting patiently to find out what's happening. But certainly from the trailers and from the information you know so far, do you see Flight Sim 24 as the natural successor to where we are now? But do you also see it as something with incredible opportunity to be able to do more?
I am super excited about it because if you think about this product just came out, the stuff, how we're moving forward, the grown ups, the immersion level, that kind of thing, is exactly what I captured from the concept from Microsoft with their initial trailer, which a lot of people misunderstood. And now we had these chats and we all understand why all this happened. But what means is Microsoft is thinking on giving people more options to just fly around. And it's your option. It doesn't mean that because that's what the trailer says, you cannot use it just the way you're using this one right now. Correct. But it gives people the opportunity. During the week, I saw certain comments on forums where they were saying, there is a reason that I can't understand why I cannot stop flying the FSR500 despite that I don't like glass cockpit. And it made me smile because that's exactly the objective of the products and what FSReborn is about. It's not just flying. It's making you feel great while you're flying. And you feel great while you're flying because every single, as my wife call it sometimes, every single stupid details that you put in this thing. What do you mean that you have to spend all this curve for the fuel temp? I said, because it matters. Every single detail matters. And when you have a lot of silly details all together, all of them together, right? 100 silly details all together, it makes the thing feels alive. And because it feels alive, they give you that reasoning. I don't understand why I can stop. It's because it feels different from what you had before. And Microsoft is trying to catch the concept of giving people the opportunity to feel alive in a world. And that is beautiful because we all come from such place in our lives where we're so busy with different things, and it's just true. We're never entirely happy with our work. We're never entirely happy about something that happens. And you sit in this flight simulator and you forget about that for hours, right? It's your escape into the world that you want to shape for yourself. And what 2024 is going to do is going to take that world that you currently have, where you're shaping the world for yourself, and really shape it for yourself. If you are someone that you are into helicopters, you saw the trailer. You can now expand the world into so much more than just flying the helicopter. If you are into private jets, now you can expand that world into much more than just flying the jet. This is what I understand where people felt a little bit threatened by it after speaking to them, but they have to see beyond that. What you need to see that they're trying to expand your world. Your world is going to get larger by massive amount of things. I mean, they show you the trailer. What is it? 1 minute or something? Like that?
That's all. Yeah.
It's nothing, right? And the stuff that they must be doing in this thing is incredible. And really, really looking forward for it. As you know, in Houston, I had the opportunity to talk to the teams, and when they saw what I was doing with 500, they were just smiling because they could see that we were on the same wavelength. Okay, this guy is getting it, right? He's putting this car, he's putting this thing, he's putting this thing. And they start telling me, okay, Raul, don't waste your time doing X. No, don't worry about that. There was a conversation between those lines. So I don't waste my resources and things that are coming. And that is beautiful. So clearly, we're going to have an amazing future on flight simulation, whatever happens.
It's awesome. Like the excitement is there for me as well, only because, like, you know, you go back, what are we now, 23? You go back 4 years and this, you know, the trailer dropped and we were like, nah, that's not right. And then we get to experience it. Communities are forged and like such a deep passion for the sim. And that's why, you know, it's a very kind of serious space now. It's because we're so passionate about this. We only want this to do well. The sim. We want this platform to be the best it possibly can be. And that's why it gets interesting, because when we see things, we're like, oh, why can't they just do this? That's why it bugs us so much, because, well, it's their fault. They've made us love it so much that we just want to see it do really, really well. But, you know, I think the biggest hope for me when it comes to 24 is, well, they take what we have now and just build on it. It's just add more to it. If it means that, yes, there's going to be better graphics, not that I don't think anyone is looking for better graphics. For me, personally, it's just stability. Make the thing stable and load faster. I'd be happy as a clam. But it's exciting knowing that not only are they going to build on what's already available, they're trying to expand on the user experience. And that's what's interesting here, because user experience, you know, we're talking about missions and who wants to do missions? Well, that's fine. It's not just about missions. As you say, I mean, the ideas that you've baked into this very aircraft, that you manage your crew, you manage your passengers, you know, are they hungry? Are they thirsty? What's the temperature? What's your flying behavior like? And there's probably ways, and I'm sure you had ideas, well, how do you expand on that? Do you put a time limit? They need to be in Paris by 9 o'clock tonight. Get your skates on. If you run late, they're going to be miffed. So there's all these options that we can look at. That's user, like every time you do a flight, it becomes an experience. You remember that flight, like, whoa, I'll never forget it. I did something mad the weekend, you know, like what we're flying into now, which looks absolutely insane. You know, low visibility, flying in Greece, there's high terrain, and what are we going to do? That's what it's all about, you know?
Exactly. So yes, I think people can rest assured, okay, they're investing, you know, great. And I think it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward. And I'm pretty sure that even the graphics is going to impress people, because that's one of the areas that a lot of people are also asking around.
No, it's going to be absolutely class, man. I cannot wait.
Even flight model. I mean, when we were in Houston on the presentation that they did, which Evan recorded and put it live, a lot of people maybe not have seen it, and they show you how the computer flight dynamics, right? I mean, I was mind blown, because right now we have certain points around the aircraft, around the airframe, that calculates how the air is hitting the aircraft, right? And I used that for this flight model. And as a lot of people have tested, they said, your trim is a more realistic trim that I have tested ever in any product, right? Wow. And this is the same thing that they said about the S4. I'm using the new technologies that Microsoft has given me to achieve those results. And then they went on Houston during the flight show, and they showed the amount of points that's going to be able to simulate. I was just mind blown. It's like 25,000 more or something it was on the screenshot they showed us. I mean, I was like, oh my God. Okay, so that means that your rudder, your torque, your P-forces, everything is going to be incredibly more realistic.
It's exciting to see what's going to be possible with the sim. I mean, that's what I'm all for. I cannot wait for this sort of stuff. But it's you're being a part of it. You're being kind of slap bang in the middle of all this, because what you're seeing ahead of you, I mean, that's just got to be an open. It's more canvas being added that you can paint on when it comes to creating add-ons. It's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm not scared. You know, I'm super happy. Whatever they throw at me, I don't care. Okay, what you want me? What you want me to build now? I build it.
We're going to the moon next. You have to build spacecraft. It'll be totally fine.
If they give me a space simulation, you can bet I'll get into it.
I asked that question to who? I don't think it was Jorg. No, it was Seb. I asked Seb that, and he kind of took a look at me. Do you know that look you get if you walk into a church on a Sunday morning late and you fart and everyone turns around to look at you? That's the reaction I got. I was like, yeah, you should model the moon. We can fly to it.
Yeah, well, this is the whole point, right? I think they're liking what we're building. So because of that, now they are going to start asking me, can you build this? Can you build that?
Who are you anyway? Look. Brilliant. Who are you? No one's heard of you. But listen, Raoul, it's been an absolute pleasure and a treat having you join us here live on the stream. We've only a couple of minutes left, so we're going to fade out playing some music and just enjoying the sights. And I think I need to climb before things get very bumpy, if you know what I mean. But listen, dude, awesome success. Jesus, it's been an absolute roller coaster ride, considering all those months ago we said, we'll do something. Sure, we can stream it. Why not? We'll figure out something. And to see so many people now enjoying this aircraft, and they're only starting with it, right? Like, there's so much going on with this plane. You can't just hop in and say, I've flown the 500, let's move on to something else. There is so much depth to this thing. And you even confirmed tonight, I mean, you have more ambitions to add, to do more to this, which is super exciting. So, dude, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us, but thanks so much for doing this. Like, not to get terribly emotional with you, but you've now given so many countless people, you've enabled us to have these amazing experiences in the sim. That's deadly. That's brilliant. Do you know what I mean? And it's done so well. The pricing is done well. Everything. It's just top dollar stuff. And it's going to be on the Xbox soon. Friggin' mighty, lads. That's what it is. So, Raoul, dude, thank you very, very much indeed, man.
Well, you're all very welcome. And thank to everyone that has supporting me with buying my products and, partners' products, because I work with others and do all the things that you don't even have a clue. Please read the EFB credits and you will see that it's not just FSReborn. I do work with other devs in other areas and other things and all over the place, actually. So, to end today, it's not over. This is just version 1.09 today. It will be much more to come. I could include even more advanced failures, but I refrain to do so because I want the people to learn it slowly. So what's going to happen now is on the next interactions, we're going to add more ways to be able to break your engine on starts and do all sort of cool stuff and visual effects that we're going to be adding now to refresh to these emergencies and things that is going to keep stepping up. So learn your checklist for failures right now. So when these step-ups come over, don't catch you out of step.
It's awesome. Well, listen, we'll let you go, but dude, thank you so much indeed. And we'll be talking to you soon anyway. And the future is bright, my friend. It just is. Yeah. Awesome
Thank
stuff.
you very much.
All right, mate. Take care.
All right. Okay.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, right, we'll do it again. Pints of Guinness emotes, any emotes. I don't care what emotes. As many emotes as you can into the chat. Well done, Raoul. Good job, man. And look at the state of the scenery. Balls of a different song. No, that's not it either. Hang on, lads. I find the button to press. Is this it? That's the shot. That's the shot right there. Up the yard. Wasn't that a treat? Fantastic stuff, and a big shout out to Raoul. Awesome stuff. Just brilliant. What a great insight, lads. Do you know what I mean? So you join us here on Friday. I'd like to welcome everyone aboard. If you just joined us, we're about to do our second to last landing. We're here in Greece, and the flight plan is available over on our Discord. If you'd like to refly this route, it's been absolutely gorgeous scenery all the way throughout this flight. So we're going to be doing a landing over here. This airport is Lima Golf India Oscar, and we're going to put this in. It's our second to last landing. And if you just joined us, we're live on the Southeast Asian server with Microsoft Flight Simulator. And feel free to join us in. Welcome in. Beat the sweet loving Jays and the buttons. Did you see what he did? He's after pressing buttons. You're not allowed to do that. It's supposed to go the other way, Raoul. Where are you going? At this time. All right.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Okay. See you in a bit. Okay. Two-Tone Jr. going to bed early. Jesus. It's all gone pear-shaped. 20 tier 1 subs from FSReborn. Raoul, thank you very, very much indeed. That's insane. Insane support for our little channel here. You absolute legend. Yes. Ascari Wolf says, this scenery reminds me that Greece was indeed invented by the Irish. Right, absolutely. Right, we need to put this in for the gentle landing here, because as I said, it is our second to last landing for tonight. So we're going to watch our speed. Landing gear coming down. And for anyone who flies this aircraft, you know how good it is, right? It's excellent. It's just brilliant. But I've also noticed some other great aircraft flying along with us tonight. I've seen the Comanche, I've seen a TBM, I've seen a B2, an F-22, I've seen the Kodiak. Like, how great a time is this, lads, for general aviation flyers, considering we now have excellent general aviation aircraft. Like, it's not even a case that we have very good aircraft. We have excellent aircraft now in Microsoft Flight Sim. It's just amazing, isn't it? So this is our second last stop. 20 tier 1 subs, like crazy stuff. Raoul, thank you very, very much indeed. If you're watching us over on YouTube, lads, welcome in. Everything's in 4K, we hope. Well, I hope you're enjoying the show so far. If you're new here, do be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. That helps me out a lot because, you know, YouTube were like, so people like this. We will send it on to more. And of course, if you're here on Twitch, well, thank you very much indeed, lads. If you are new here, do be sure to hit that follow button. We're on the way to 9,000 followers, which is absolutely nuts. Do you know what I mean? And I saw a very important question. I saw a very important question from Energizer. I forgot to ask Raoul. Is it true Raoul is now going to buy the entire Microsoft team custard creams? As Test Pilot rambles in, good to see you.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
If I want something like the Kodiak as far as quality and sounds is concerned, but it's faster, is this the right plane? Cat, I think this is one of the best add-ons you can get in Microsoft Flight Sim, hands down. Just for that in itself, because it has the realism, it has the systems, the sounds, the modeling, but you also have the simulation and the experience when it comes to bringing passengers, the damage model, everything's there, you know? I love it, man. It's awesome.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
That was a very Michael Myers Moore. Beat the Jesus. Epic Food, it's good to see you. Epic, by the way, lads, EHO, Epic Helicopter Operations, over on FS Hub, a unique helicopter-only VA with some incredible flights there. I was checking it out during the week. And it's all been run by Epic Food. Great stuff. And
that's a big 10-4, good buddy.
touch her down there now into beta. We're getting subscribes all over the place, lads. Thank you very, very much indeed. I really do appreciate it. Massive shout out to Gibbo, who's helping us out over on YouTube, and to Muse and Old Veteran here on Twitch. I'm appreciating the help tonight, lads. It's been a busy night, and well, so far so good. Our second to last landing. Keep it in beta. Take it out of beta.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
How am I getting ourselves turned round? We're awful. We are awfully elitist over there. Brilliant. But it's not forgetting our own incredible virtual airline, that of Firefly Air, where we're very easygoing and laid back. We don't mind what you fly. You know, a big shout out to 6 Knots, to Rambog, Ironbird, Viper, and Gibbo giving us a dig out as well between, you know, updating all the stats. They're all automated, and just the sheer amount of content. For anyone who follows us over on Discord, there has been an issue with the webhook from FS Hub Tools. Do you know the way when you take off and you land, it populates our Discord channel? There is an issue there. Everyone is aware of it. So we're trying to fix it. We're trying to fix it. Lenny Brooks, it's good to see you. Have I seen the Beyond ATC injector? I have. It looks awesome. Really looks awesome. Don't mind that. I just flew into a plane and then a B2. The stats console refresh is amazing. It really is MDA, isn't it? It's awesome. Do you guys see, was it the B? Was it the B? Is it called the B21 or the B21 or something? Wasn't there a brand new flight today? First flight? Almost certain of it. Almost certain of it. So, yes, if the alerts aren't... Thanks, Gibbo. If the alerts aren't working on YouTube, I need to fix that. Some of them I think are coming through, but we're doing all stuff in the background. And myself and Gibbo are... It's mainly Gibbo. You know what I'm like. It's mainly Gibbo. Gibbo, can you get to do this? So we're working on some stuff. There's some pretty cool and exciting stuff on the way. I did a bit of messing there over the last couple of weeks. I have a new scene here as well. I can show you briefly. I showed it off a bit on Wednesday night. The B-21 Raider. Yes, Super Typhon said it earlier on. Thanks, Super Typhon. I said that twice earlier. Jesus. But yes. Good man, Super Ty. I know you were in there, like, first and stuff. Yeah. Brilliant. So, what I have here, I'll show you this other scene. I've been working on it, right? It says turns around. Yucky booze on Betsy here, lads. Don't forget, lads, tomorrow Alison Johnson continues her brand new around the world trip, flying in the A2A Comanche. Kickoff is at 1400 Zulu, I do believe. Right, what's this view over here? Look. Ah, yes, here's this view where it's me in the sim with you lot, right? But then, I mean, look at the technology we have here. Do you know what I mean? There's technology here now, lads. I still need to fix everything, but we have screens of stuff and things. And when I press buttons over here, look, with screens and stuffs and things, well, I could do something else. As you play with me lights, right? So let me see now. Question coming in. Let's see what happens. So yeah, it's a bit of messing going on here, lads, isn't it? More to come. Need to fix things and change things, and the devil knows what, you know. But I will. I need to get like a monitor here behind me so I don't have to turn over my head and all that jazz. You know what I mean? You have to be tapped into the light pole outside of the house. Yeah. Or if you have your own power station. Yeah. Accurate. Some stuff isn't working though. That should be working. Interesting. Tutor Murphy says, Gibbo, gotta say you're a handsome fella. Yes. You're not allowed to press them buttons, you. Right. Why didn't that button work? Jesus. That button should have worked. Let's see what happens here.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Who did that? Be Carlo, you divil you. Right, pressing buttons and stuff. I've had to breaking something, I'd say. Oh, look, there it is, look. It's me talking to me, but it says, Gibbo, gotta say you're a handsome fella. That's absolutely lies. It's lies, right? But yeah, look, that's what that thing does. It's pretty cool, isn't it? You sure you can fit anything else on the screen? Me Crocs. I can get me Crocs on the screen, Lenny. You know, I won't show them off now. You know, it's we're not late enough in the evening, you know. But anyway, look, I just wanted to show you this as a bit of messing of what I'm getting up to and what I'm working on. And even last night, I kept Gibbo up to like ridiculous o'clock chatting about other features I'm trying to, you know. So like that's a radar and a map, which is accurate because it's actually showing our live location on both screens. Very interesting, isn't it? Yes, Murph, you're a genius, and I'm super proud of it. Super proud of it, do you know? But yeah, so we've buttons and stuff galore, and you still can't fit the Malahide on the screen, says Patrick. I'll have you know we can, because Patrick, it's like this, right? It's like this. If I do that, I haven't tried this yet, lads, so bear with me. Imagine if I broke it. Jesus. Right now. Imagine if I broke it. Gibbo! It works! Kind kinda. Jesus, it kinda does. I know, I need to go over there more, look. Jesus. There's a good chance now, lads, this will break absolutely everything, right? I need to be able to get it to move a little bit more that way. But if you were to look at what's actually going on behind me here, see that wire? Right? Look at me nose, look! Look at me nose on the screen! Jesus, I've a terribly pointy nose, haven't I? Did it always look like that? Did my nose always look like that? Jesus, look at those grey chin hairs. What are you talking about? Blatant messing. A witch nose. Jesus. Hang on. Oh. Right. It's fixed, lads. Let's go flying, shall we? Oh no, we're on the wrong screen. Now, right. You can't see past the grey hair. Who asked you? Right. I saw Colonel Forkin here earlier on. He defended me on her. Do you know? Unlike you lot. Later that day, Murphy roared himself to sleep. Right? Roared himself. What you need is an extension. Oh, behave. That's what she's... Yes. Yes. We need to extend the extension. Right. Okay, we're good to go. We're good to go. Great flight tonight. I'm really enjoying it. Oh, come on, Patrick. Brilliant. Oh, I'm after typing something on the wrong screen, look. Right, okay. I'm just glad the wig retired. It didn't actually... but it didn't come out tonight, right? Jesus, look at the amount of people behind us. There's nothing to see here. Please disperse. Nothing going on. I missed a joke earlier. I said this earlier. 85% of the stream was worth hearing Rel's interview and progress, while the remaining 15% is more grey hair madness. Well, do you know what? He built an extension onto the extension and the house is in a circle. The house is in a circle now. Brilliant. Good Lord, it's a War Thunder start. What do you mean your dog has less grey hair? I hear that reading everything causes grey hair. I would have to give that to Viper Strike. To be fair now, that was very good, wasn't it? Brilliant. Right, lads, let's go flying. Are we ready? Here we go. Brakes off. Power coming in. Caution the wake turbulence of a B2. Let's get vertical. Takeoff power set. Airspeed is alive. And we're rolling now like a Skoda. Murph, did you get the tidbit of news? I did, Colonel Fork. I've watched it once already. I shall watch it not once, not twice, but thrice more. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Because I badly need it. 'Tis a great flight. Yeah, thanks, Patrick. Yeah, you know. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Hey, Mr. Dan is back. Good to see you. Lads, look at the scenery here. Look at the state of it. Who'd have knew? Who'd have knew? Who'd have known how nice it was? Since you drive a Skoda Octavia, do you call your car the Octaviator? No, I don't. I drive a Superb. I call it the Superbinator. I drive a Skoda Superb, lads. Look at this. It's like Flight of the friggin' Valkyrie. This is brilliant. Hang on a second. Jesus, then this is brilliant. Right. We'll play a bit of music I haven't played in a while. This is great going back to this music, isn't it? Jeez, my head is sore. Ooh, where is it? It's over here. Is it? No, it's not. It's over here. Oh, wait. Yes. We'll play one of these. Did I see him earlier on? I did. Japson, if you're still there. Some tunage. Now, we'll do another count for Keane because he's flat out tonight, lads. Xbox pilots, press 1. PC, press 2. And FSR500 pilots, press 3. That'll really get him off his group now. He won't know what to do. Oh no, that button didn't work. Neither does that one. Ah, balls, I'm after losing all my music. Hang on, lads, don't panic. I know what to do. I can fix it. I am some sort of an idiot. What does this one do? It's like the country and western version of Ghostbusters. Oh, ye of little faith, we're not going the wrong way. We're just going around the bit to make it look like we were going the wrong... Yeah, okay, we were going the wrong way, but I fixed it. Jeez, a tough crowd tonight, lads. Oh, yes, the weekend starts right here, right now. Keen Lefford reports. Usually about 30 or so on the PC, sometimes one using VR. 3 on console, probably, and everyone else is a passenger. But Smurf that doesn't pay me enough for keep counting is going to take a guess that there are 25 people in the FSR500. Now behave! All right. So let me see. Autopilot, come on. And can we go just altitude hold? What do we have? 4. Now, hang on. Gilbo brings up a very interesting question. Because your one is given out about the gear, isn't she? So Gibbo, I don't know how we can turn it off, but I know how we can turn it off, right? Wait to see what we do here now. Let's see now. Let's see here. If I was a check gear button, where would I be? Just wait for it here now. Stall warning, no. We're looking for something that says gear warning. Flap warning. Oh, jeez, we're getting close. We're getting close, lads. Bring your speed back a little bit. Let's ramble over here to the other side. Hello from the other side. Overspeed, no. Is there a check gear gadget? There has to be.
Check gear. Check gear.
Stall warning.
Check gear.
What about landing under lights? Stall heat, prop heat, oil pressure, bleed air.
Gear.
Emergency pressure? No. Audio marker?
Check
GEA!
gear.
What's this do?
Check gear.
Balls, that didn't do it! Ah, no!
Check gear.
I'm a beast! I must have called 1,000 times. Good to see you. How do we... There has to be a way we can get rid of her. Hang on a second. But it's there for your safety, Murph. Shh! I'll tell you about what we need safety-wise. Maybe there's not a button to get rid of her. I don't see them there, do you? GMC?
Check gear.
Balls. It's not GMC, lads. Isn't that the make of a car? Someone press all the buttons to find out what it is, will you? It's got to be here somewhere. Hey, Quert, good to see you. We're close. Fuel pumps, flap motor, flap warning, inverter, strobe, they're all lights. Who's this? Berglund, good to see you.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Enunciator, that scared the crap. Who pressed that button? You scared the life out of me. Where's the enunciator? Is there an enunciator? Enunciator! Right, let's see.
Check gear.
No, didn't do it, the polar bear. We'll find it, lads. It was Hummingbird. Is it number 2? Where am I going? I'm going wrong. Lads, I'm going wrong. Let's arm the old nav button here, look. Right. Dublin install. I don't know where the crack is. Stall warning test.
Stall. Stall. Stall.
We can turn her off when we need to. This reminds me about an air... Right? Man alive, look at the views. Isn't this a beautiful flight tonight? Isn't it gorgeous? There's a Dougal McTavish right beside Far Far Away, who is Far Far Away. Brilliant. Right, we're trying to keep it together. Thought it might have been ESB related, but nope. We'll find it, Gibbo. If there's a button that's for safety, we'll figure out how to turn off the devil. Do you know what I mean? Hang on. Integrated... Maybe?
Check gear.
Balls! The thing! Standby instruments, no. Torque, fire detection, alternator field.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Keen Laffer the Deem turned off me lights. You devil, Keen. Scaring the life out of me. Wait, I wanted 4,500 feet. Why are you still climbing, you mad devil? Alt, select, 4,000. V speed, down the river. And cut your speed.
Check gear.
Now, we're going to find this button.
Check gear.
Iridium. What's iridium?
Check gear.
Overspeed test.
Check gear.
Balls! Avionics bus ties. No. Fans. No.
Check gear.
TAS?
Check gear.
Balls, I thought I had it. MFG. Fans. No.
Check gear.
Did I check the gear?
Check gear.
Is there a button on the gear?
Check gear.
I've checked the gear.
Check gear.
Let's not go pressing buttons here.
Check gear.
Jesus Murph, don't go straight into that mountain, whatever you do.
Gear.
Did you check the gear? Wow, look at the views! Holy crap, look at the state of this.
Check gear.
I don't think we have a button for check gear.
Check gear.
You know you're low when you have to climb over a tree. Brilliant. Okay, we continue on. Is my gear down? Negative. Was I telling you about the night... Jesus, look at that. Was I telling you about the night lighting, lads? Like, can we just for a second get a level of appreciation of... Beat the hokey, would you look at this, right? Hang on now. Wait now. Wait now. So there are me lights. Look at that lighting. Isn't that superb? You guys see that? See that like under glared lighting? Look at this state. That is superb lighting. If we go up here, isn't there flood lamps we can mess with? Yes. Look at the bloom! Look at the bloomin'. Look at the state of this! It's stunning! Isn't that absolutely the cat's meow though, isn't it? T-Spark is away, you take care. Look at that for the view. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely stunning. It's so pretty, isn't it? Costello Gaming. Nights up, you take care. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, the scenery here is gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. We're in the soup. So we're heading out to the island of Corfu. Looking forward to how this all looks. Captain Meowington says, as a cat, I can confirm that it is in fact the cat's meow. Brilliant, brilliant. Let me see. Boom. I'm from Ireland. Come on yourself. Can you fly the big plane? We can. Well, can I fly them? No. Do they fly them? Yes. Yes, we give it a blast. But you're very welcome in. Thanks for the comments over on YouTube. My dude. Did the update for the C-160 come out yet, lads? No? No? Oh, okay. Right, we're just about to land here now. This is terribly exciting. We're over the sea. In the clouds. But I reckon we can drop down now.
Airspeed.
Shh. Calm it down, you, will you? Right, let's drop her down now to about 3,000. B speed. And we'll drop it 1,000.
Check gear.
Kozaki, good man yourself. Landed and logged my 53rd hour in the baby at last. Nice. Winkle Gassler, good to see you. And good night, my dude. I need to sneeze.
Gear.
Gesundheit, Murph. Gesundheit. Sounds a lot better than that, thankfully.
Gear.
Look at this state. This is gorgeous though, isn't it? Isn't this gorgeous? Hang on a second. Oh, we'll have to do one of these. No, we won't. We'll have to do one of these. Where is it? Where are you? This'll do. Man alive, that's been some flight tonight though, hasn't it? Absolutely gorgeous, lads. It's been absolutely stunning flight tonight. So here is the island of Corfu, and this scenery is created by Fly Tampa, and it's incredible. Old Jolly Gamer, you're very welcome aboard. Thank you indeed for the follow. Great to see you. So we're about to do our final landing here for tonight, onto the island of Corfu. Lima Golf Kilo Romeo. And so far, so good. The whole island is modelled. It's fantastic. Right, so we're going to go autopilot off. And bring the power back. Get rid of the yaw dampener. My airplane.
Check gear.
Extra speed as you come in here.
Gear.
Is the B2 Spirit worth it? It's fun. This is a great scenery.
Check gear.
Now let's use a bit of parallel 42 flow action to see where the wind is just coming in.
Check gear.
Yeah, we're going the right way. Look at this, lads. For the price point, it's very good. Yeah, I agree. Isn't this something else? Lads, I've really enjoyed getting to fly with you guys tonight. It was a great treat having Raoul join us. It's a great insight, isn't it? And I think we can all agree, like, this is a superb airplane. It's excellent. But there's nothing I look forward to more is getting you guys in for a group flight. I absolutely love this. Getting to spend a bit of time with you, it's fantastic. It really, really is. So thank you very much indeed for spending your time with us this evening. Jesus, that boat has a wake, look. Look at that. Look at the state of it. Usually runway 34 for safety and noise. Oh, is it? Well, we're kind of going with the wind, though, only because, well, it's 8 knots, I suppose. It wouldn't exactly be a problem, Dougal. It's absolutely stunning, though. Look at the state of this, lads. Look at this. It's only gorgeous. Man, look at the bank angle on this thing. Yup, you devil, you. The Toby eye on here for the crack. Watch your speed.
Gear. Check gear.
There's the runway. Speed below 168. Drop the gear. The sky looks better. Have they changed it? I don't think so. We're on live weather. Okay, we're looking good here, lads. Oh, careful now. I love when the wind hits you. It's class. This is deadly. We've planes all over us. Okay, speed 140, a little bit fast. Get that speed back. Quick check, landing gear is down, flaps are coming down, speed is reducing. Tiny bit of a crosswind. I think my dad was watching The Good, Bad and the Ugly. There's whistlage coming from the next room. Nice.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Catbat 9, you devil, you scared the life out of me. But also, welcome in, Catbat. How are you, mate? Catbat, were you streaming recently? Right, speed 115 over the numbers. That's going to be fairly good. Full flaps. Alright, plane. Let's see what we can do here.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Muse fan, you devil, you! I was trying to read what Epic Fool put up as well. Never read and fly. Don't see a good night wasted. Alright, easy now. 90 knots, we're looking good. Runway 16. Cut the power, hold the nose, bleed off the speed. We're in ground effect. Easy does it. Easy does it. Oh, there's going to be butter. Butter, 30 feet a minute. Oh, yes. Debate it. There's 50 knots. Out of beta. Bit of manual braking. Easy now. Get those flaps in. That's what we like to call. Did you see the state of that landing? Make it sunny there, Murph, will you? Huzzah. So we can actually see a bit of this scenery. This is from Fly Tampa, by the way, lads. It's the island of Corfu. Stunning. If you haven't got it, I highly recommend it. As a general aviation pilot in the sim, flying around this area, there's lots for you to explore and to mess around with. It's really nice. That's a good question, Lenny Brooks. Short answer is yes. So they said only the very few won't work in flights in 2024. Great timing with the message. Yeah, like that was a fluke. Epic, don't lie. You were sitting there all night after writing it to press enter and say, now's a good time. Shh. Let's see how the Egypt handles this. Brilliant. Right, taxi lights on, landing light off, keep the strobes on. Patrick's going to Amsterdam this day next week. Nice. That's brilliant, Patrick. Look at everyone lined up here. What an incredible group flight we had. This was an amazing flight tonight, lads. The scenery was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Easy does it. This place needs an update. I see some purple textures coming through. Fly Tampa, you need to do a thing. Look at all the FSR500s. This is awesome, lads. I'm loving it. And the biggest bit of news is the Firefly Air livery is native to this aircraft, meaning when you buy the FSR500, you get the Firefly Air livery. And it's going to be available on Xbox. How cool is that? It's very cool, Murph. Yeah, I know, right? I know. Muse can only see 6 planes. Oh man, Sim Update 14. I really hope they sort this out. I really hope they sort it out. You know what I mean? Right, let's just put on the park brake here. Let's check out you guys here for a second. Ah, look at this. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? Dalox, thank you very much indeed for the follow. Welcome in, dude. Lads, what a tremendous flight. That was so much fun. Getting to fly with all you guys. That's what makes me, it makes me day. Do you know? So thank you very, very much indeed. As immediately we get a hashtag, whatever we're on now. But yeah, look, you can see the out scenery. There's a couple of textures they need to update. And that's, of course, the Corfudians are, you know, they're feeling particularly funky. I need to let Flight Tampa know the story there. Big Papa Polly's in a tri-motor. Beat the Jesus. TBM 850 or the FSR500? How to choose? TBM 50 is incredible. However, I gotta say, it's down to what you prefer for speed. The TBM is a little bit faster, but the FSR500 has more features. That's kind of where they're at. There's more features in it, you know. Yes, Mr. Dan. Any idea on making the sim download quicker, i.e. not 2 megabytes a second? Unfortunately, that is outside of our control. Now, speaking of which, I haven't tried it yet. Our good friend Q8 Pilot released a video today for anyone who has the i9 13900K. Gibbo. And there's some sort of a setting you can do with it that will stop the thermal throttling, meaning it will remove stutters from Microsoft Flight Simulator because they seem to be CPU kind of caused. Have a look at Q8 Pilot channel on YouTube. I was going to mess with it. You want MSI Afterburner, but essentially what you do, Gibbo, I think you just turn down the voltage going onto your CPU. You just turn it down a smidgen. Have a look at his video. He explains it in more detail. But I saw it earlier. I was like, oh, beat the Jesus, there's going to be science. You know what I mean? Mr. Dan says, only wondered because honestly, it's a pain. A full install and you have played Flight Sim for quite a while. Mr. Dan, make sure that your mouse is on the screen and that screen is an active window. That helps. Undervolting pretty much required on the 5800 as well, says Rambog. Oh, nice. Nice. Kean, thank you very much indeed. Ika Castella, it was a joy having you with us. Wombat, my absolute pleasure, my dude. My absolute pleasure. And guys, thank you all so much for joining us here tonight for this live stream. We're back to our normal schedule on Monday. We continue on with our Jet series as I eagerly await an update from Just Flight when we can get our hands on the Vulcan. But I'm thinking Monday we're going to take on the F-117. We're going to learn about it and take it for an L flight. I'm thinking it's going to be a nighttime flight, perhaps. We don't do them an awful lot. So we'll see what happens, right? It might be an early morning start and then breaks into day. I'll plan it up over the weekend. Next Wednesday, we bring you all the news. And then next Friday night, just like this, we'll have another group flight. And I'm actually thinking airliner stuff. What? Yeah, thinking airliner stuff, right? But we'll see. We'll see. My thanks, massive thanks to Gibbo, who was looking after everyone watching us over on YouTube. Lads, thank you so much for tuning in. And Gibbo, thank you for all your help, getting all the questions kicked across. And to Muse and to Old Veteran, looking after things here on Twitch, lads, I really do appreciate it. For Super Typhon and of course Keane Lafford for doing the counting. It's always great crack. For all you guys for flying, it's incredible. To all the raids, all the follows, the likes, subscribes, the friggin' donations, it's been incredible. And of course a massive shout out to Raoul from FSReborn. It was an absolute pleasure having him on board tonight chatting to us. So thank you all very much. Go away now, right? I'm going to end